On my island? No, I mean it's good. I just said the French kind is better. Maybe if you froggy fucks bathed once in a while, you'd be able to taste the cheese instead of your own BO. Listen, you've got your cigars, we've got our cheese, live with it. Fine. Fuck him, it's good cheese. I'm paraphrasing just a little bit, but that's basically how it went down. So already it's obvious that dairy is of great value to Castro. Most exceptional, however, is how this value reflected in his leadership. Naturally, having an entire nation at his disposal, Castro wanted to bolster the Cuban dairy industry as much as possible. But there was one problem. Cuba initially had two types of cows called La Reinas and Zebus. La Reinas came from the days when Spain ruled Cuba, and Zebus originated from India. Both of these cows are well suited to the Cuban environment, having a very high tolerance for heat. However, they don't produce much milk, they're mostly just raised for their meat. So Castro decides to import thousands of Holsteins from Canada. Holsteins are the classic black and white cows, and as we all know, you can juice these guys for days. They are utterly superior. Only problem is, they're used to living in Canada, so when they're plopped down under the scorching Caribbean sun, it's going to stress them out. They're not going to be laughing cows by any means. So as a result, Castro's imports still didn't put out enough milk to satisfy his desires. At this point, your average run-of-the-mill dairy queen would have given up. But Castro, he's more than that. He's a dairy dictator. So he ordered the construction of a giant air-conditioned complex with the sole purpose of providing a comfortable environment for his Holsteins. And it helped a little bit, but they were still stressed out. They still weren't putting out at their natural levels. And as you can imagine, climate controlling an entire facility is very expensive, so Castro was forced to abandon the project. But like the astronaut he is, Castro held on to his dream of finding the Milky Way. So he gathered a team of scientists and farmers and ordered them to breed together the Zebus and the Holsteins in order to produce a heat-resistant, lactose-pumping super cow. The breeding efforts were mostly a bust, never producing the bovine master race that Castro longed for. However, there was one exception. Under Castro's program, a single individual was born that met his expectations with flying colors. The cow was named Ubre Blanca, Spanish for white udder, and she produced world record-breaking volumes of milk, peaking at 110 liters a day. That's more than 29 entire gallons of lactation. Needless to say, Castro was absolutely euphoric at this isolated success of his. To say he went ballistic would be an understatement. He went intercontinentally ballistic. Like, India hasn't got shit on the levels of cow worship that Castro performed. Daily updates were published in the Cuban national newspaper describing Ubre Blanca's health and productivity, and when she died in 1985, Castro commissioned a giant marble statue of the cow in her honor. He also had scientists harvest tissue and egg samples for the sake of preserving her DNA. After Ubre Blanca's death, Castro's plans for the Cuban dairy industry got even more desperate and ridiculous somehow. This is based off of an actual conversation that he had with his team of scientists in 1987. Okay guys, hear me out. What if we make cows that are the size of dogs, so that way they can live in people's apartments with them? Fidel, I don't think that's gonna work. No, it'll work. You just have to grow grass in the apartment too. You can't be serious. Yeah, you just gotta put up some fluorescent lights. Bam, little grazing patch for your doggy cow. You are a fucking lunatic. And obviously nothing ever came of that idea, and Cuba's dairy industry is still floundering today, sadly. So yeah, if you haven't gotten the picture by now, the dude likes milk. Imagine he's at the birth of his grandson, right? Ah, what a beautiful baby boy. Fidel, there's something we need to tell you. Your grandson, he's lactose intolerant. Prepare the firing squad. Anyway, there's plenty of other miscellaneous stories surrounding his little preoccupation, like the time the CIA tried to poison his milkshake, so I just decided to highlight a few big ones. Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching. This episode of Salmonella Academy is brought to you by Skillshare.
Hey kids, if you've been on Earth for any amount of time, you should know that this place is pretty wet and wild. With water just falling from the sky whenever it feels like it, it's no surprise that floods are among nature's most common means of wrecking humanity's hard work. However, not every flood has been made out of plain old H2O. Today, we're going to talk about some of the few non-water liquid disasters that mankind has endured. January 15th, 1919 was a particularly warm day for Boston, at around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, well above the freezing temperatures of the past week. Men wore their hats a little less snugly, children huddled about the fire a little less closely, and a metal tank containing 2.3 million gallons of molasses decided to collapse. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sam, I've never even held a molasses before. I didn't know there was 2.3 million gallons of it in the world. What was that much molasses doing in one place? Well, young grasshopper, as with most things, the answer is alcohol. As the cylinder came tumbling down, it unleashed a delicious brown tsunami that was 25 feet high at its peak. Also, forget everything you know about idioms, because the waves were recorded to have moved as fast as 35 miles per hour. That means you're slower than molasses. Nerd. Add that to the fact that molasses is way more dense than water, and you've got a recipe for some major destruction. Eyewitness accounts of the event describe houses being swept off their foundation and subsequently demolished. The level of damage was comparable to a tornado sweeping through, its path of devastation stretching a half-mile long. Here's a picture of, something. I can't tell what it was supposed to be. All I know is that molasses clearly does not play. That's not all, though. A truck was picked up and chucked into the harbor, a train car got knocked off its tracks, and a bunch of dogs and horses just straight up drowned. Oh, and some people, too. Around 150 were injured and 21 were killed in the disaster. Talk about the sweet release of death, am I right? Ha A couple of reasons these numbers were so high were that A, once you're stuck in something that thick and sticky, you're kind of fucked unless 3 guys with a rope happen to show up. And B, the affected area was so large that 3 guys with a rope would have no way to get to you without getting trapped themselves. As a result, rescuers had to wait several days before the molasses either sufficiently drained out of an area or hardened up enough in the sun and the cold so that it could be walked on without sinking in. After the incident, cleanup was carried out primarily by blasting the streets with salt water, which took many weeks and stained the waters of the Boston Harbor brown for months. Naturally, all the rescue workers and cleanup crew ended up getting molasses all over them, which led to them getting the stuff all over payphones, subway cars, door handles, you name it. It's said that for decades afterwards, residents could still catch a whiff of molasses outside during the summer months, and Boston remains one of Forbes' top 10 stickiest places to this day. Our next tale took place on the evening of June 18th, 1875 in Dublin. A fire had been raging across several blocks of the city for many hours prior, and like many of us do after a long hard day of wreaking havoc, the fire decided to mosey on over to the malt house for a much needed drink. Around 5,000 barrels of whiskey and other social lubricants subsequently burst from the heat, sending a cascade of what is essentially liquid fuel careening out into the street, carrying the inferno on its back wherever it went. Now, normally you think people would just run away from the impending danger, but being that this is Ireland, the crowds of people had a better idea. They said, "Hey, fellow upstanding citizens, why don't we band together and, help with the cleanup efforts?" So they decided to dispose of the river of beverage running through their neighborhood by hiding it safely away in their stomachs. Some people drank directly from the street, while the classier among them were seen taking off their nasty sweat-filled boots, filling them up and just gulping away. Keep in mind, while today's version is flavored primarily with cinnamon, this Fireball whiskey contained a special blend of spices including ash, street filth, tiny shards of glass and wood, and whatever else you could imagine. But hey, free drinks are free drinks. In the end, 13 people perished as a result of this incident. Was it from the fire? Nope. Smoke inhalation? Mm-mm. Drowning? Still no. Unfortunately, though they did boot, and they did rally, they forgot to do both at once. As a result, all 13 deaths were actually from alcohol poisoning caused by chugging too much runaway liquor. So let this be a lesson, kids. Don't drink street booze. You have no idea where it's been. Just go to a dispensary instead. Moving along, here's another potation inundation, this time on the other aisle. 1814 London was a rapidly growing metropolis, and like all metropolises, it had its fair share of densely populated slums, one of which was St. Giles Rookery. And what better place is there to build a brewery than amongst the impoverished and thirsty? Unfortunately, said brewery apparently got cocky and decided to skimp out on their iron rings that hold up the big beer things budget, leading to one of the vats completely collapsing and knocking over all the others with it. In total, around 323,000 imperial gallons, or 1.5 million liters of beer were unleashed that day. The flood of ale pushed over the wall of the brewery with the same ease that Jared Kushner pushes old ladies down escalators, gushing out into the streets and totally demolishing multiple homes situated nearby. Good morning, America. I'm reporter Pat Lauer. No relation, don't worry. We're here at the scene of the world's biggest party foul. Ma'am, how does this whole thing make you feel? Ha, don't worry. This isn't the first time alcohol has torn my household apart. In all seriousness, my husband has struck me on multiple occasions. At least 8 people are known to have died as a result of the incident, either from drowning or from having their house dropped on them. In spite of this, nobody was held responsible for the disaster, with courts concluding that the collapse was an act of God. I wish people were that lenient with act of God clauses today, like, alright, here's your coffee, ma'am. Whoops. Jesus Christ, it burns! Yes. That was Jesus Christ who did that. You motherfucker, my legs are fusing together! Hey, God works in mysterious ways. Maybe you were supposed to be a mermaid, who knows? So, I hope the knowledge of these events will serve to empower you in your life going forward. If you find one of your friends trapped in molasses, now you'll say, don't worry, I'll save you. In a couple days. If your street is ever flooded with hard liquor, you'll say, oh boy, time to start chugging. In moderation, of course. But why stop there when you can learn a lifetime of practical wisdom with Skillshare.com? Skillshare is an online learning community with over 22,000 classes in technology, design, business, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on must-know topics so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Sure, history can write some pretty insane stories, but hey, so can you. With these courses, you can make the next great American novel, or breathe new life into your erotic Sanjay and Craig fanfiction. You ever doodle in the margins of your notebook during class? I know I do. What better way to spice up your notes than with some classy botanical line drawings? No more Celtic knots made out of dicks for me, that's for sure. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my viewers where you can get 2 months of Skillshare for free. To sign up, go to skl.sh/sam03. Again, listen, go to skl.sh/sam03 to get 2 months of unlimited access to over 22,000 classes for free. Act now for this special offer and start learning today. Till next time, I'm Sam Manella, and thank you for watching. Hey kids, had a bad day? Well, could be worse. You could be living in a world without modern anesthetic. Today, we'll be talking about some surgical procedures carried out long before the development of medicine as we know it today. Now, once you go back a certain distance, the line between operation and mutilation is pretty thin. So, for our purposes, surgery refers to any bodily manipulation carried out with the intent of fixing some injury or illness. And away we go. The very first surgery that we have historical evidence for dates as far back as 6500 BC. It's called trepanning, which is a nice word for carving someone's frickin' skull open using nothing but a rock. Maybe a rock on a stick if you were lucky. In all seriousness though, you can see that a good deal of care went into the procedure, which lets us know that this isn't just the result of random injury. Many skulls even showed signs of healing around the holes, meaning plenty of the people who underwent this whole thing just got up and went about their day afterwards. Alright, hold on, you say. This all sounds guano insane. No way this was that common of an occurrence. Well friend, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you should know that if you give human beings the benefit of the doubt, chances are they'll prove you wrong. In fact, so far, over 1,500 trepanned skulls have been dug up all across the globe, from Europe to China and even the Americas. This means that between 5 and 10% of all skulls that we've found from the Neolithic period have had at least one man-made hole scraped into them. To put it this way, based on that data, there's a greater probability of someone born in the late Stone Age having their brain matter exposed by some shaman with a chunk of flint than someone born in the USA being a redhead. To this day, nobody really knows why this was such a common practice, but most theories tend to revolve around the idea of releasing some kind of dark supernatural force from the patient. Man, I'm getting real sick of all these evil entities infecting our minds and bodies. Huh. You can say that again. I tell you, I need these demons like I need a hole in the head. No way. Fast forward to 600 BC. Over in India, there lived a guy called Maharshi Susruta. Now, this guy was a medical mastermind. He wrote a treatise known as Susruta Samhita, which described countless different conditions, treatments, and yes, even surgeries, one of which is the first recorded instance of rhinoplasty. That means nose job. A hornbill's a type of bird. I'm here too. Anyway, here's how it's done according to Susruta. First, you get them plastered, obviously. Second, you use a leaf to measure out the part of the nose you want fixed. Then, you use the leaf to cut off a flap of skin from the cheek or forehead of the patient. This part's important though. You gotta remember to leave a little piece of it still attached. Otherwise, you just got a chunk of dirty dead face meat on your hands. Now, wherever you're looking to stick the new flesh on, you rub that part raw with a knife. Also, you're gonna want to stick 2 plant stalks in their nostrils so their nose keeps its proper shape. Slap the skin on, suture it, dust it with licorice powder for some reason, and cover it with cotton. Sesame oil should be regularly applied until the skin is fully healed. If you're like me, I already do that by default, so it shouldn't be an issue. Finally, at long last, your sniffer is reborn. Don't worry, you still look like a freak, just slightly less so. Moving on, our next surgery took place in 10th century Spain on Sancho I of Leon, otherwise known as Sancho the Fat. Now, normally back in the day, having some meat on your bones was a sign of wealth and power and all that, but this guy was like TLC documentary tier, to the point where he could hardly function as a human being. So his constituents said, "Greetings, your thickness. Yeah, you can't be king anymore on account of you keep breaking every horse we give you, and nobody wants to wash between your accordion-like neck folds no more." After his adipose got him deposed, Sancho decided to seek medical help for his condition, under the oversight of well-reputed physician Hasdai ibn Shaprut, which is an anagram for paintbrush aids. Now, if there's one thing that medieval man understood, it's practicality. Lap band, gastric bypass, belly balloon, these all exist to help people who don't have the self-control to stop eating so much on their own. But Dr. Shaprut didn't believe in beating around the bush. He said, well, why don't we just stop the patient from shoving food into his own greasy maw in the first place? And decided to just up and stitch the dude's lips together. After the operation, the only nutrients that Sancho received came through a straw, in the form of a mixture known as thoriaca, which was a complex blend of several herbs, fruits, and seeds, including opium. It was basically the closest thing you could find to lean at the time, and lean he became, losing around half his weight before ascending to the throne once more. So this is the part of the video where I pander to the desires of the audience. If there's one thing I know you internet people can't get enough of, it's things going inside people's eyeballs. Let's talk about cataract surgery. The art of dealing with people's clouded lenses has been around for millennia, believe it or not. That Susruta guy from earlier actually talked about the most common procedure for cataracts for most of civilized history, which is known as the couching method. Couching is done by taking a sharp object like a needle or a thorn, and ever so gently stabbing their eye hole at weird angles until the lens moves out of the way. No lasers, no sedatives, no paralytics, just a rusty old pin and some elbow grease, the way God intended. The majority of the time, this operation didn't work, usually just damaging the already blind eye irreparably. Shocker, right? And even if it did go as planned, you still, didn't have a lens in your eye, so you essentially went from, I can't tell if I'm dead or not, to, ah yes, it is quite yellow out today. By God. Something moved somewhere. A slightly more refined version of this operation is the suction method, which dates back to at least the 10th century AD, if not older. This procedure is described as requiring, quote, a large incision in the eye, a hollow needle, and an assistant with an extraordinary lung capacity. Though this reads like the setup to the world's most horrifying party trick, it's actually the bare minimum number of tools needed to completely extract the lens from the eye. In case you didn't pick up on how, here's a diagram. This method generally saw a greater success rate and fewer complications than its non-extracting counterpart, so hopefully you can sleep well tonight knowing that the number of human beings who have sucked a piece of somebody's living eyeball through a straw is above zero. Anywho, let's all just be thankful that we live in an era where procedures like these are a thing of the past. Now remember kids, even though the surgeries I described here do sound pretty easy to pull off, please don't try them at home. But But if you do, please put it on LiveLeak afterwards. But you know what you can do at home? Learn stuff about things with Brilliant.org. Brilliant's elegant UI and step-by-step design makes learning seemingly complex topics very intuitive, especially for visual learners like me. Don't think you can understand special relativity? With Brilliant, I bet you can. I'm just some kid in a room somewhere, and even I got the basics. Check this out. Relativistic laser tag. Don't tell me that doesn't sound fun. Then later when you're talking to your friends, you can be like, yeah, I'm taking a course in special relativity right now. No big deal. Maybe gonna hit quantum objects in a couple weeks. So to support me and broaden your understanding of math and science, go to brilliant.org/salmonella and sign up for free. Also, the first 200 people that go to that link will get 20% off the annual premium subscription. Anyway, till next time, I'm Salmonella, and watch you for thanking. Wait, shit, I meant... This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hey kids, hope you had yourself a merry little whatever. I know I did. What do you like best about the holiday experience? My personal favorite part is where we systemically brainwash children into thinking they're supernatural beings who judge their every move and then invade their house at night. Now, everyone knows Santa, good old Saint Nick, ol' Father Christmas, ol' Christopher Kringle, ol' Elpheus Prime, Slayer of Elk and Bringer of Xboxes. And you've probably heard of some other characters somewhere too. Guys like Krampus, Belsnickel, Charlie Brown, Xi Jinping. Well, today I want to show you guys some more obscure Yuletide beings from different cultures all across the globe, but mostly Europe. Now, this first creature's name comes from the Welsh. As a matter of moral principle, I personally don't formally recognize the Welsh language. Maybe someday they'll figure out how W's and Y's work, then it'll be a different story, but for the time being, you'll have to excuse me for not condoning bullshit like this. So the thing allegedly called Mari Lwyd isn't a true mythical creature per se, but more so a tradition carried out for at least the past few centuries in South Wales. No, I mean Old South Wales. This is how it works. Every holiday season, the village rapscallion will take a horse's skull and affix it to the end of a pole. Kinda like one of these things, except, you know, awful. The skull is typically decorated in some way, and sometimes they put in a lever so you can make the mouth move on its own. Then a white sheet is draped over the pole and its holder, thus giving the illusion that Famine himself has come to destroy all your figgy pudding. From here, one would think that the nightly festivities would include welshing your trousers and repenting for a lifetime of naughtiness, but no, it gets better. You know that whole mouth-moving thing? Turns out that's not just for taking wild snaps at the faces of innocent children. The Mari Lwyd and its party of caretakers will go around to random houses and sing a song about wanting to be let inside. The inhabitants are then expected to sing back with excuses as to why they don't want this abomination in their home. All in rhyme, of course. This goes back and forth until either the Mari Lwyd gives up, or the party's invited in, at which point they get to raid your pantry and drink all your beer. So if you ever find yourself rap battling a horse skull in South Wales, don't panic. It's normal, I guess. Next we have Frau Perchta, a witch-like being said to visit during the holidays in the Alpine regions of Germany and Austria. Depictions of Perchta can range anywhere between beautiful woman and whatever the hell this is, but usually they fall somewhere in between. She's also sometimes shown with this big weird floppy goose foot. That's because she's apparently real into spinning. Not the 2-foot kind though, the 1-foot kind. It's said that this delightful spinster pays a visit to all the little wiener schnitzels on the 12th night of Christmas. If you were well behaved and hard-working this year, she might leave you a small silver coin in your shoe. How kind. But if you've been an inattentive young lady and didn't spin all your flax that year, Perchta will trample all your half-woven fibers as punishment, and you'll say, weird flax, but okay. Fucking cut that out, Jesus. Then there's the stuff Perchta considers especially naughty, which can vary depending on who you ask. If you left your house a mess, or you didn't leave out the traditional bowl of porridge, or maybe you didn't eat your ceremonial fish and gruel on feast day, that's when you've been a real goober. As recompense, she'll rip out your fucking intestines through your abdominal wall and then stuff your empty body cavity with pebbles and straw until you're just as plump as when she started. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Nobody knows what she does with your freshly harvested innards after she leaves. But being that she lives in the mountains and has an obsession with thread making, I think we can all infer the obvious truth. Of course, no discussion of folklore of any kind can truly be complete without taking a look at Iceland. Between the centuries of isolation and the volcanic fumes constantly spilling out over the countryside, it's no wonder that they're one of the world's biggest exporters of whack-ass mythology. Seriously, according to one 1998 survey, over 54% of Icelandic citizens said they believed in elves. Let me repeat that just so we're all clear. In 1998, the majority of the population of Iceland said they believed in elves, and a very large portion probably still does today. As such, the cast of characters said to visit during the holiday season over there is naturally quite diverse. The main lineup consists of the family pictured here. This is the leader of the bunch, a troll, goblin, ogreish type lady named Grilla. Grilla just fucking eats kids. That's it. She's said to prefer the naughty ones, but as long as it's small and made out of kid, she's game. Then you got her husband, Lepalu, who lives with her in her cave, generally considered to be equally ogreish. When the holidays roll around, if there's no soot in your fireplace, he'll reward you with a pickled herring. But if it's dirty, he'll scoop up the ash and dump it in your bed. Ooh. Nah, just messing with you. None of that's true. He also just eats children. The couple also has a giant cat called, this. The cat's main concern is whether or not a person received new clothes for Christmas. Pretty hypocritical considering it walks around naked all the time, but whatever. Anyway, if you got new clothes, then good for you, you got new clothes. On the other hand, if you didn't get any, well, can you guess what he does? You want to take a wild stab? Yeah, that's exactly right. He fucking eats you. Children, adults, doesn't matter. He'll even vor your dog, he doesn't care. Finally, you got the best of the bunch, the 13 Yule lads, each of which visits on a different day leading up to Christmas. They're kinda like the 7 dwarves, but whereas those guys are jolly and helpful and stupid shit like that, the only real goal of the Yule lads is to harass and inconvenience people as much as possible, and each one has a unique way that they go about doing that. I'm going to go through all 13. Now please remember, I am making none of this up. I'm not even going to try to say the Icelandic names, so I'll just give you guys the English translations, which are very apt by the way. First you got Sheepcoat Clod, who goes around harassing sheep, but he's easy to catch on account of his peg legs. Then there's Gully Gulk, who hides in gullies to steal milk from your cows. There's Stubby, he's real short, he eats the leftover crust out of pie pans. This one's called Spoon Licker, he licks spoons. He's also incredibly thin on account of malnutrition for some reason. There's Pot Scraper, he scrapes pots, and Bowl Licker, who's like Spoon Licker. The key difference here being that he licks bowls. You got Door Slammer, who slams doors in the middle of the night. And then Skyr Gobbler, who gobbles up all your skyr, which is like a Nordic yogurt type thing. Whoa, who's that up in the rafters? It's Sausage Swiper, of course. Here to swipe your sausages. And who's that in the windows? You bet your ass it's Window Peeper. Look at him peep. And who could forget our favorite, Doorway Sniffer, who sniffs your doorway with his giant freakish nose to seek out bread. There's Meat Hook, he steals your meat with a hook. And finally, Candle Stealer, who fucking, you get the picture. So, if you know some kids who just won't behave, maybe it's time to take a page out of Iceland's book come next holiday season. Now remember, your friend dressed up as Grilla doesn't have to actually eat the kids. Just bite them a couple times, that'll be enough. Anyway, with New Year's right around the corner, the time comes to make our New Year's resolutions. While you may spend New Year's Eve getting hella turnt, why not spend New Year's Day getting hella learnt? You can do just that with Skillshare.org. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 25,000 classes in design, business technology, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on must-know topics, so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Beyond technical skills, there's plenty of lifestyle type stuff on here that'd be perfect for building the 2019 you. Check this one out. Beat procrastination once and for all. Maybe if I had taken this course, this video would have been out, before Christmas. Do you speak any other languages? Well, you could. Believe me, I get a lot of joy of shoving my français down other people's throats. If you try one of these guys on for size, you could be doing the same in no time. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my viewers. The first 500 people who visit the link in the description will get 2 months of unlimited access to the 25,000 plus classes on Skillshare for absolutely free. What are you waiting for? Go! Don't just stare at me with your glassy eyes. People are taking them already. Go, hurry, run! Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching. Nah, but seriously, fuck Swift the cockatiel. Look at this ugly tree-sniffing idiot. I hope he gets AIDS. I mean it. Thank you. Hey kids, if you've ever been Black Friday shopping or visited the Diablo subreddit recently, chances are you've encountered mass hysteria at some point. Mass hysteria is known medically as mass psychogenic illness, or MPI for short. It's basically just when a bunch of people start acting a fool for no discernible reason other than maybe a stressful environment. Being that this sort of thing is naturally very noticeable, there's loads of documented cases found all throughout history. Let's take a look at a few. This first one is what made me make this video in the first place. So one day sometime in the Middle Ages, a group of nuns in a French convent were enjoying a quiet, uneventful day, until one of them decided to start meowing. You know, like a cat. You'd think this would last all of 4 seconds before another nun was like, "Excuse me, Sister Gertrude, would you kindly cut the shit?" But instead, another nun joined in, and another, until basically the entire nunnery was exchanging mouths like a group of communist trading card enthusiasts. This wasn't just a one-time thing either, it basically became integrated into their way of life. It's said that on a given day, they would stand there meowing in each other's faces for hours at a time. Could you imagine being the first outsider to witness this? You might laugh now, but as they say, everybody gangsta till the nuns start meowing. I'd void my bowels and move to Malaysia without even thinking. Miles more terrifying than this pile of garbage. As you can imagine though, after a while it stopped being scary and just got annoying, leading to the neighbors calling in a band of soldiers to deal with the situation. Hey guys, can we talk to you for a sec about Yeah, that. All due respect, but we have orders to literally beat the hell out of you with whips till you start acting like people again. Sorry sir, it's just force of habit. Haha, habit. Seriously though, we would rather go to hell for throttling a gaggle of nuns than put up with another minute of your bullshit, caprese? Our next event took place in the parish of Fatima, Portugal in the year 1917. It all started with 3 shepherd children, ages 10, 9, and 7 respectively. They were like, "Greetings fellow Portugueseites. We've been seeing visions of the Virgin Mary, and she told us to tell you that some real crazy shit's gonna go down in the sky on October 13th. Now, if 3 random farm children started spouting out prophecies to the public today, you'd say, "Ha, what tomfoolery. Go play in some dirt, you dirty little dirt baby." But keep in mind, the past is a different country. And Portugal's a different country, so that's like different countries squared you gotta think about. Plus this was during World War I, a time where a lot of people were holding out for a miracle to begin with. So the kid's story was actually picked up and even spread by local newspapers, to the point where, when the day finally came, at least 30,000 people gathered in Fatima to witness the alleged miracle. Lo and behold, on that day, the sun began zooming around, careening towards Earth and sending rays of multicolored light cascading across the sky, creating a light show like nobody's ever seen. Keep in mind, this happened in the 20th century, way after the era where belief in divine jiggery and or pokery was considered mandatory, so naturally there were plenty of skeptics and non-believers present, and even they saw it all happen. Or so they thought. How do we know the sun didn't really whiz around haphazardly that day, Well, number 1, use your frickin' brain. And number 2, accounts differed wildly from person to person. While some say the sun zigged hither, others say it zagged thither, and others still said it shined a brilliant yellow and stayed perfectly still. As such, it was eventually concluded that the event was just a combination of MPI and weird eye stuff from too much sun staring. Although I'd like to believe it was real, just that Jesus' illusion skill was way higher than his alteration at the time. Yep, that's it. Sam's going to hell. Why, for blasphemy? Trust me, that was the least offensive part of that joke. Our next tale took place in 1962 in Tanganyika, which was basically just the beta version of Tanzania. The nation had just declared its independence from Britain the previous year, and with the future so uncertain, tensions were naturally running high around this time. One little girl in a Tanganyikan school ended up handling the stress in a bit of an unusual way. Rather than overeating or staring at her ceiling for hours like a normal person, she just started laughing, and laughing, and laughing. Pretty soon, her classmates at the all-girls school she attended began to join in, to the point where 95 of the 159 students caught the gigglies, which lasted anywhere from a few hours to 16 days straight. Beyond just the unprovoked cackling, other odd behavior included aimless running and occasional violence. The problem got so severe that the school was forced to close down temporarily, leading to the chortlers roaming the streets, spreading the affliction further. Thousands of people from all strata came to be affected, with 13 additional schools being shut down in the progress. Over the course of the hysteria, several other symptoms began to present themselves as well, ranging from obvious ones such as breathing problems, fainting, random screaming, to more anomalous things like rashes. Despite all this, no physical cause could be found, leaving MPI as the only explanation. The epidemic finally died down after between 6 and 18 months of day in, day out laughter, depending on the village. While this whole thing likely sucked for most people involved, it probably could have been worse. A lot of the time when I'm alone, I'll think to myself, man, if I ever go full schizo, I hope I'm one of the laughy ones, not one of the screamy ones. With this story in mind, just maybe, if I put my mind to it and believe hard enough, I can be both. Flashback to the year 1518 to the city of Strasbourg, at the time part of the HRE. A woman named Mrs. Trophy began fervently dancing in the streets for no discernible reason, for hours, then days. All without music, of course. Her only breaks consisted of occasional food intake and passing out from exhaustion when night came. If you saw that today, you'd just be like, ha! Drugs. But apparently people found it pretty inspiring, because within a week 34 others had joined in, and after a month there were around 400. This wasn't your casual bobbing up and down neither. This shit made Zumba look like Tai Chi. Here's the best modern day simulation I could find. Now imagine that both of those people were the same person and you got the dancing plague. This would take a toll on any healthy person, let alone a medieval city dweller, but despite bleeding feet and aching bones, they just kept going. In fact, they went so hard for so long that a good portion straight up fucking died from cardiac arrest. It got to the point where around 15 dancers were kicking the bucket every day before the city decided they had to do something about it. They managed to rule out any divine or supernatural causes, which was necessary just because, you know, back in medieval times, it was fucking stupid. They eventually surmised that it was a natural disease caused by too much hot blood, as per that whole four humors thing that was popular at the time. As for a cure, their prescription was, get this, more dancing. I can see where they were coming from. It's pretty sound logic. If you got a song stuck in your head, you play it till you're sick of it, same kind of thing. But here's where they goofed. The authorities actually went out of their way to facilitate the dancing, setting up a big stage area and even hiring musicians to keep the afflicted moving. All this achieved was attracting more passerby who were like, man, mass psychogenic illness looks frickin' epic, let's get in on that, causing the contagion to become even more widespread. Seeing that their solution backfired, the city then went the other way and completely banned any public dancing. Those who still showed signs of the mania were subsequently carted off to the Shrine of St. Vitus, where an exorcism-like ritual was performed on them. This ended up being highly effective, presumably for no other reason than that the dancers believed it would work, and after nearly 2 months, the plague was quelled. While this whole thing was most likely a case of good old-fashioned MPI, some historians believe it might have been egged on in part by ergotism, a state of psychosis brought on by eating tainted bread, which I talked a little bit about in this video. Ding. And hey, while I'm shilling for my channel, I might as well give a shout out to another as well. Today's video is sponsored by Cheddar, a network focused on producing fascinating content covering topics like technology, products, businesses, and the like through the lens of innovation. Here's one about desire paths, you know, like those lines of dead grass from people taking more convenient routes through places. It's one of those things that plenty of us have thought about but never actually explored in depth like this video. Cheddar's full of intriguing stuff like that. I highly recommend giving them a look. If you're more science oriented, they still got you covered with their Cheddar Explorer series. This one's all about how we can be sure if a species is really extinct or not. They talk a bit about animals we thought were gone that suddenly reappeared out of nowhere. Super interesting, go check it out. Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella and thank you for watching. Hey kids, you've probably seen this scene in TV or movies at some point. A couple of people end up stranded on a desert island, totally isolated from all civilization. It seems like there's no hope for survival, but then one of them looks 3 feet to the left and, oh my god, it's a tree full of fully grown, plump, delicious, smiling, golden-skinned bananas. Amazing. We're saved for the time being. Hey, don't eat those. They're made of lies. See? Listen, why do fruit exist? For a delicious, nutritious snack for humans and animals alike to enjoy? You know, you didn't have to go throwing him into the sun like that. You're next, Susan! How did you know my name? I created you. Anyway, as most of you probably know, fruit are a thing because nature figured out, hey, if you put a little bit of deliciousness around your seed, it'll convince some idiot bird or something to carry your baby off to faraway lands, right? But then humans showed up and were like, hey, that's pretty nifty. Listen, is it cool if we selectively breed you for thousands of years to give you horrific deformities to crank up that whole deliciousness part a couple hundred notches? Alright, cool. Let's take a look at bananas, specifically the Cavendish variety that we all know and love. On the inside, we got like 2% seeds, 93% delectable banana meat, and 5% that brown part at the bottom that your mom says is perfectly fine to eat but you still don't trust. Great for a snack, terrible for reproducing efficiently. Meanwhile, check out the thing on the right here. That's Musa acuminata, one of the suspected ancestors of today's nanners. Much smaller and jam-packed with seeds, with just enough flesh in there to make it worth some smelly primate's time to crack open a yellow one with the boys. Here's another wild type banana, Musa balbesiana. Less sweet, way starchier, harder to get into, hella seeds, same shit different day really. But hey, if you stick that boy in the ground, you've got an okay chance of making a new banana tree. You bury a modern banana, all you're gonna end up with is a dirty banana. And not that one club in Miami, I mean an actual dirty banana. That's because, like a lot of cultivated fruit, culinary bananas are so inbred and malformed that they can't produce offspring even if they wanted to. So, word of advice for you men out there, if ever a lady points out how poorly endowed you are, just show her this JPEG. She'll say, wow, I didn't realize it was so potent and fertile. You really opened my eyes, thank you. Bananas aren't the only piece of produce to follow this pattern though, not by a long shot. For example, take the watermelon. According to Monsanto, everybody's favorite corporation, the first evidence of human cultivation of the watermelon dates back to Egypt around 5,000 years ago. Back then, they were only 2 inches in diameter, around the size of a tennis ball. The flesh was supposedly tough and bitter, much like that of a tennis ball. Of course, just as the growth of a delicious green baby takes time, so too did the evolution of the modern watermelon. In fact, even as late as the mid-1600s, watermelons looked way different from what we have today, as shown by this painting by Giovanni Stanchi. Notice the thicker rind, the larger seeds, and the weird segmentation on the inside. Definitely a cooler still life subject, but ultimately inferior as a summertime snack. How about vegetables? Tell me, do you enjoy cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kale, collard greens, broccoli, or cauliflower? I mean, I guess I like broccoli and cauliflower. The rest are kinda gross though. Wrong! All 6 of these vegetables are actually the same thing. That means you like them all. That's not how that works. I'll be good. Anyway, these veggies are all just cultivars of the same species, Brassica oleracea, otherwise known as wild cabbage. Every part of the plant is edible to some extent, but there's not much of it to go around. So a bunch of different people throughout history said, alright, what if we just take one specific part of the plant and go fucking insane with it? And that's what they did. Those who bred for giant leaves got kale, going for huge dense flower buds gets you broccoli, juicy engorged lateral leaf buds equal Brussels sprouts, etc. Speaking of segues, let's check out eggplants. The OG eggplant was first domesticated in India, where it can still be found in the wild today. It looks nothing like an eggplant though, they actually resemble little green berries the size of grapes. The only thing it seems to have in common with the classic purple eggplant is how little both of them have in common with an egg. However, if we add the RGB percentage values of their color and merge their shapes, we do get what looks approximately like an egg, so I guess that solves that mystery. This whole transformation really is a testament to man's greatness though. That's like starting out with a frog and selectively breeding them until you end up with Grimace from McDonald's lore. Speaking of which, did you know Grimace used to be evil and have 4 arms? This is a real thing. I'd like to think that when they lopped off his extra limbs, all his evil energy went with him, and now there's just 2 plump purple cylinders scampering around the countryside waiting to pull unsuspecting kids under ball pits, never to be seen again. That's just my McDonald's headcanon though. Anyway, back to whatever we were talking about. Next is corn, or sorry, maize. I call it corn like a normal person. If it was supposed to be called maize, these would be called mazes. Obviously, that's like the perfect opportunity, but they're not, so put an etymological sock in it. Or stocking. Anyway, I was totally expecting old corn to look like those baby corns you find in Chinese food and literally nowhere else. Turns out those actually are just baby corns. One suspected ancestor of corn is known as Teosinte, which looks like this. Gee whiz, Sam, that sure does look like garbage. Good eye, Billy. That's because it was garbage. Whereas modern corn has a kernel count in the hundreds, Teosinte only has 5 to 12, with each one being encased in a hard shell that's basically impossible to get into short of boiling it or chipping a tooth. The fact that people decided to domesticate it in the first place makes sense once you realize that most grains are basically the same thing. But honestly, that just makes me wish people figured out how to turn a piece of wheat into a big chunk of whatever to gnaw on. This whole thing disappointed me so much that I actually moved it to the top of my list of reasons not to visit the Mayans if I ever get a time machine. Nonetheless, as you can see, human endeavor can accomplish amazing things. And just as a few thousand years of selective breeding can turn this into this, a few hours of learning a week can turn you into, you know, a more talented talented and interesting version of you. And what better way to do that than with Skillshare.com? Skillshare is an online learning community with over 22,000 classes in technology, design, business, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on must-know topics so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. They've got great courses in just about any creative pursuit you can think of. I used to be totally musically illiterate till I took this course. Then I made this. What about food? You like food? Of course you do. You'd be dead if you didn't. With Skillshare, you can make your own macaroons, fresh pasta, spring rolls, whatever. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my viewers, where you can get 2 months of Skillshare for free. To sign up, go to skl.sh/samo2. Again, for those in the back, go to skl.sh/samo2. to get 2 months of unlimited access to over 22,000 classes for free. Act now for this special offer and start learning today. Anyway, till next time, I'm Sam Manella, and thank you for watching. Mentorship. What the Alright, after months upon months of unrelenting pressure by you psychopaths pretending to be my characters on Twitter, I finally got a merch store. Let this be a lesson, kids. With enough harassment, you can achieve anything. Anyway, go check it out, or don't, whatever. Hey kids, if I learned anything from my middle school career, it's that what may seem like a good idea initially will often be remembered only as a foolish mistake. Here's a few pieces of technology from yesteryear that have since fallen into total obscurity. So I've always believed that there's no point in having many small things when you can have one big thing. Why have many shrimp when you can have one lobster? Why drink many glasses of milk when you can eat one udder? Why have many Cheez-Its when you can have one cheese them? Patent pending. And why have many street lights when you can have one moonlight tower? These guys were real popular back in the 1880s and 90s, often standing at over 150 feet tall and illuminating several blocks from a single point. Not very well, mind you. Matter of fact, they were so dim, we didn't even have the conscience to just call them light towers. Had to go and stick the moon on the front so people didn't get their hopes up. But thanks to our good old friend the inverse square law, you still needed a fuck ton of light to pull this off. So they used incredibly harsh and UV emitting arc lights instead of incandescent bulbs. All the light of the moon and all the vision damage of the sun? Talk about a win-win. Sadly, these beasts have fallen by the wayside over the past century or so, except for in Austin, apparently, but they use friendlier mercury vapor lamps in them, so they only get half points. Now, anyone who's been around a baby long enough knows they always have a cloud of ghoulish stench hovering around them. Jeez Louise, somebody better air out that musty little muskrat before Grandma starts drooping again. You could stick him on the clothesline for a while, but knowing that little moron, I'm sure he'd find a way to hurt himself somehow. Introducing the baby cage. Finally, city dwellers all across the nation have a way of unleashing their postnatal funk on the unsuspecting passerby below. These were in vogue for a while before falling out of style a bit of the way into the 20th century, because apparently society started deeming babies more valuable than air conditioners. I don't really get it personally, but this is also around the time we started putting lead in gasoline, so it's probably for the best we kept them inside all day. Matter of fact, it's my firm belief that without kids growing up breathing lead, there's no way Pet Rocks would have taken off in the 70s. Wow, alienating baby boomers. He's so brave and controversial. Now, in the days between the Great War and the not as great but still pretty alright war, people were trying to find efficient means of detecting an incoming air attack. They climbed their nation's tallest mountains to seek the wisdom of their greatest elders, and the wise men said, big ears. So that's what they did. These giant discs were known as acoustic mirrors and were designed to focus incoming sound over a 5-meter diameter into a single point. They were reasonably effective as listening devices. A few of them in Britain were able to pick up the sound of a plane from all the way across the English Channel. Of course, radar came along soon after, rendering these things completely useless beyond looking brutalist as hell. For real, instant album cover material right here. Ah! One of the Pep Boys is pulling a Spanish Inquisition on this poor wayward harlot. Huh, just kidding. Despite the fact that this looks so very, very much like a state-of-the-art instrument of torture, it's actually just a beauty micrometer. Think those shoe size measure things at Foot Locker, only instead of one primitive measurement, it records the entire topology of your face and skull at once. With this data, a trained cosmetologist would be able to pinpoint exactly what features of your head should be enhanced and reduced with makeup in order to achieve a maximum calculated attractiveness after you've paid for the their services. Clearly this device must have been effective. After all, beauty is entirely objective. What, eye of the beholder? Check the name tag, buddy. Apparently, though, women didn't like being strapped into a birdcage and having their every minute flaw meticulously laid out in front of them, so this thing never really took off in the end. Next, we have the Humlauf. This was a device made during World War II designed to let infantry shoot around corners. It's like the Germans sat down and watched that part in Tom and Jerry where the conniving rat bends the gun barrel back at his adversary. They said, "Mein Gott." They came in a variety of angles between 30 and 90 degrees, and even came with a little periscope so you could see what you were shooting at. But as we all come to find out when we reach adolescence, cartoons are the arbiters of deceit, because these things would invariably break within the first couple hundred shots or so. And even when they did work, the rounds would fucking explode from the massive acceleration, turning a deadly bullet into an ineffectual spray of shrapnel. These were so ineffective that only the 30-degree model ever saw significant production beyond prototypes, and even that was very limited. Say, you ever look at regular mouse traps and go, not enough property damage? Well, check this out. Patented in 1882, it's the revolver mousetrap, brought to you by the makers of the snail trebuchet and the cockroach claymore. Thanks to the marvels of the modern era, all those tiresome hours of intense varmint slang can be outsourced to one little gadget on the floor of your kid's playroom. Now when you hear a gunshot in the middle of the night, you can rest easy knowing that, one way or the other, there's one less pest for you to deal with in the morning. Boom, 1850. Steam locomotives are all the rage. You're in the transport business, but all you can afford is a couple dumb horses. Sure, they move things from point A to point B almost as well at a fraction of the cost, but your cool rail riding friends called you a whack ass and it really hurt your feelers. Well, have we got the invention for you? The Impulsoria uses an ingenious system of treadmills to turn that horse to be beckoned into a force to be reckoned with. Sure, it's expensive as hell to make and limits your services entirely to railroads, but just look at it. Instant Pussymobile. Slap some rims and a spoiler on that, you're laughing. This machine is recorded at having a maximum output of 2 to 4 horsepower, which sounds about right, and it didn't see much use outside a couple exhibitions. Now, if there's one hobby that people in the past enjoyed, it's smoking. Whoo boy did they like smoking. And with every great wholesome activity comes a million novelty items to go along with it. Everyone's seen the long cigarette, but how about the really long cigarette? Want to smoke in the rain? Here you go. Going snorkeling? Hey, you know what's more important than oxygen? Nicotine. But hey, wanna know the only thing better than a cigarette? 2 cigarettes. You know what? Fuck it. Have the whole pack. You earned it. Of course, if you're trying to cut back, you can always share it with a friend. Aw, how heartburning. But you know what's even more fun than addiction? High quality documentaries. That's why you should check out CuriosityStream. From the face behind the Discovery Channel, CuriosityStream lets you stuff your little meatuses full of all the bizarre knowledge the world has to offer. And with over 2,400 titles, there's no way there isn't something that interests you here. Remember Secret Life of Pets? Trash movie. Turgid prose, stilted dialogue, pandering humor, and above all, highly unrealistic. On the other hand, The Secret Life of Dogs is an absolute treasure. Did you know they turn their tongues into weird inside-out ladles when they drink? Just one of the many fun facts found inside. Normally, full access to CuriosityStream only costs $2.99 a month or $20 a year, which is nothing. That's like a McDonald's run every 4 months. But if you still have your doubts, you can get 30 days free if you sign up at curiositystream.com/salmonella and use promo code salmonella during the sign-up process. Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and check out this JPEG.
Hey kids, I think we can all agree that there are few pastimes more grotesque than competitive eating. The concept of a bunch of guys pushing their anatomy to its limits just for sport leaves a bad taste in my mouth in more ways than one. But imagine if these men didn't adopt this habit just for fun. Imagine if some gross biological error forced them to eat like this for their entire life. Introducing Tarare. Tarare was born in France around 1772 to a poor farming family. It's said that his appetite was so voracious that, by his teens, Tarare could eat an entire quarter of a cow carcass in a single day. You'd think he'd be like mega obese, but no, he only weighed 100 pounds by age 17. However, there were still a few things that stood out about Tarare appearance-wise. For one, he had a huge, stretched-out mouth with horribly stained teeth. He could reportedly fit 12 eggs in his cheeks at once, much like a chipmunk keeping its chipmunk eggs warm. Additionally, when Tarare was full, he'd get a crazy Octomom gut going, and any other time, he'd have a huge flap of stretched out skin hanging around his waist. He also stank to high hell, even by 18th century French peasant standards. He was described as reeking, quote, to such a degree that he could not be endured within the distance of 20 paces. So between all this and his horrendous outhouse flooding dumps, his family had had enough. Alright, you're eating us out of house and home here. You gotta go, man.
You heard me. Kick bricks, Froggy. Wow, he just called a French person a frog. That's so racist. No, it's not. They're all French. The guy just looks like a frog is all. Oh. Well, too late. I'm already offended. That's fair. Dislike. After leaving home, Terrare was forced to beg and steal just to satisfy his gargantuan appetite. Inevitably, people began to take notice of him, and eventually he landed a job as a street performer in Paris. People would hand Terrare entire baskets of apples, eggs, and even wine corks, and watch in delight as he horked them down without the slightest hesitation. Normally, this went off without a hitch, except for one time when he suffered a severe intestinal blockage. Fortunately, the crowd was kind enough to carry him to the hospital, where he was treated with the strongest laxatives the 18th century had to offer. I would draw what happened next, but it would probably get my channel deleted, so let's just picture it for a few moments.
There's no telling what the captors are doing to the target.
Moving on. Cut to the year 1792. This marks the beginning of the War of the First Coalition. Ever heard of it? Me neither. Who was in it? Fucking everyone. Anyway, Terrare decided to enlist in the war. After all, maybe that profound emptiness he was feeling was just a lack of purpose in life. Turns out, no, he really was just psychotically hungry. Even after being granted quadruple rations, Terrare would still be digging through the trash pile whenever he got the chance. After suffering extreme exhaustion, he was sent off to the military hospital in Souterrain. The staff there was so dumbfounded by the man's abilities that they decided to keep him there to run a few experiments. The first of which involved putting Terrare in a room with a meal prepared for 15 people. Naturally, he ate the entire thing and immediately fell asleep. Next, they presented him with a raw eel. In response, Terrare crushed the eel's skull between his teeth before slurping down the entire creature in one go. Now, this is hair-clenchingly horrifying for a couple of reasons. Firstly, he put a whole frickin' eel in his stomach, but secondly, there had to be some point during digestion where the meat was gone but the bones still remained. Now, for those of you who don't know, an eel skeleton looks like this. That means Terrare had all of those needle-sized ribs stabbing into the walls of his stomach at once, and he was fine. He also ripped a live cat apart with his bare hands, drank its blood, and ate everything but its bones, and then later gagged up the fur and skin like an owl, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. After reviewing our data, I've come to the scientific conclusion that, yeah, we got a goddamn demon on our hands. But as we all know, with great devour comes great responsibility. Since Terrare was still technically enlisted, the military decided to utilize his abilities for the greater good. Hey Terrare, it's me, the General. Listen, could you eat this box with a note in it for me? If you do it, we'll give you a wheelbarrow full of bull organs. Lo and behold, 2 days later, he passed the container in mint condition and was given his reward as promised. With this proof of concept, they made him an official spy and sent him into Prussia with a document in his belly, to be delivered to an imprisoned French colonel. Unfortunately, there are a couple things Terrare couldn't do that are generally important when sneaking into another country. A, he couldn't speak German, and B, it's pretty hard to maintain a low profile when you're running around like a madman wolfing down garbage and mutilating small animals. So he ended up being captured by the enemy. Initially, he kept his mouth shut, for once, but after a whipping and a day in jail, Terrare gave in. After confessing that he did, in fact, have vital intelligence snaking its way through his GI tract, the Prussians chained him to a latrine until the box emerged 30 hours later. The note wasn't actually anything important, so they just mock-executed him, gave him a severe beating, and sent him on his way. After all that, Terrare returned to life at the hospital, desperate for a cure for his condition, but nothing they ever tried worked. Meanwhile, the man's endless hunger continued to get him into all sorts of trouble. He'd often sneak out of the hospital to eat the scraps behind the local butcher and fight stray dogs in the alley for their precious garbage. He'd also seek out patients undergoing bloodletting in order to take all their life juice for himself. On several occasions, he was even caught attempting to eat bodies in the mortuary. By this point in my research, I was so desensitized to this guy that I didn't even bat an eye when I first read that. I was just like, alright. Guess he must have been hungry. Anyway, the hospital staff begrudgingly tolerated Terrare's buffoonery, until one day when he went too far. Well, Terrare, you've only had 3 mess hall raids, 4 miscellaneous trash-related mishaps, and 1 cadaver defiling, so I'd say, so far, this week's been pretty good. Doctor, we should probably inform you that a 14-month-old child has gone missing from their room. Terrare, look at me. Did you eat a fucking baby? Terrare was promptly kicked out of the hospital and spent 4 years out and about doing, whatever horrific shit you can imagine. When he came back, he was suffering from advanced tuberculosis and died shortly after arrival. During his autopsy, the surgeons found that, when they looked into his mouth, they could see all the way down his throat and into his stomach cavity. As you can imagine, his whole abdominal region was profoundly deformed. Basically, if this is a normal human, this is what they found inside Terrare. Just like the man's mind, we can see that around 90% is devoted towards food and 10% towards as everything else. So, moral of the story here is that, no, you know what, not even I can find anything resembling a moral here. Not all stories have a point to them. Sometimes they're just sad and disgusting from beginning to end. And now a word from our sponsor. As you can probably tell, I'm a very visual person when it comes to learning. I firmly believe that engaging visuals are an essential teaching tool that allows for much deeper comprehension than plain old walls of text. That's why I'm pleased to introduce our sponsor, Brilliant.org. We all know that math and science are really important to master, and Brilliant's elegant UI and step-by-step design makes learning seemingly complex topics very intuitive, especially for visual learners. Their straightforward graphics, delightful animations, and interactive puzzles make it easy and fun to hone your own critical thinking skills. Personally, I've always been super intrigued by neural networks and all the things you can do with them, but I've always been too intimidated to research them in depth. After learning about Brilliant, I actually started taking their course in the subject, and I gotta say, it's been such a pleasurable experience that I plan to continue with it in my own spare time. To support me and learn more about Brilliant, go to brilliant.org/salmonella and sign up for free. Also, the first 200 people that go to that link will get 20% off the annual premium subscription. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
A Wheel of Fortune, and this person wouldn't speak to me. He spoke to the other contestants. What a coincidence! I was just about to block you. I'm in a Facebook group called This Cat is Grumpy, and it's recently been taken over by a rescue kitten called Tater Tot, and I am living for it. I am a Tater Tot stan. Oh my, so I just figured out the word hurt. It's past, present, and future. You will be hurt. You are hurt. You were hurt. Because if something truly hurts, it really never stops. You poetic little shit. It's because it's an adjective. You will be stupid. You are stupid. You were stupid. Me, remembering when my bro said, confidence isn't thinking you're better than anyone else. It is realizing that you have no reason to compare yourself to anyone else. Finding out a man has 200 plus hours on a video game elicits the same reaction in women that finding out a girl has 200 bodies does for men. Girl math is comparing 200 hours of video games to 200 bodies. Hey buddy, you wanna open a harmonica? I opened my coat and got hit by a gust of wind, making the worst sound in the world. The boys and I were just about to play our favorite multiplayer online game, God is Among Us. Okay, so my mum can hear me say whatever under my breath, but can't hear me scream, yeah, after calling my name 10 times from the kitchen. Thug, you got the stuff? Me, opens briefcase, revealing 7 ducklings. The deal was 8. I'm just the delivery guy. My hat quacks softly. The purest tweet. Me, during the 10 seconds it takes me to restart my phone. Remember when Pokemon changed its Pokedex to be sprite-based for April Fools, but it actually looked better? I found my old Pokemon book. I don't know who I relate to the most. I just heard a mum yelling, Theodore, so I hit her with an Alvin. No one in that Audi parking lot laughed. I hated her. Wonder, I wish I had Spider-Man powers. No, Timmy, that's dangerous. You could put at risks all of humanity. Cosmo, I wish to change the mass of a proton. Lol, great idea, Timmy. Let's see what happens. I love that Nick Cage's natural state of dress is rockabilly biker apocalypse, and it doesn't even seem performative or out of place. Just an obvious way Nick Cage would attend functions. Guys, I tried to label all the states in America a Scottish person. Literally no one cares about each state is. Maybe you should learn where actual countries are instead of calling people dumb for not knowing where your irrelevant little states are. Scotland, that's a part of England, right? Imagine you die and go to heaven and God's like, I have a crush on someone and you know them very well, and then leans in for a why? These are the 4 greatest anti-heroes in all of fiction. I'm less shocked by someone thinking Homelander is an anti-hero, but instead of somebody thinking the psychopath that is Chris is one. If you're bored, you can simply close your eyes and rotate a cow in your mind. It's free and the cops can't stop you. Oh wow, you're right. Who told you about the mind cow? Yeah, the mind cow. We've all seen it. They call it SpongeBob. No way. Where did you learn this stuff? Do I go in there? What flavor lip gloss is that? Pepsi, Fanta, Cola, Coca, Spurt. The tech who did my breast ultrasound put gel on the wand and said, here comes the warm jelly, and started whooshing it towards my bob like an aeroplane. Then she stopped dead. mid-whoosh and said, "I'm sorry, I have toddlers. I am fucking exhausted. I met this girl at the bar last night. Could not remember her name, but I remembered she loved Taco Bell. Welcome to Taco Bell. How can I help you? I'll take a Crunch Wrap Supreme. Extra sauce, please. Copy. Is that all for you? Yes. Perfect. Name for the order? If you forgot my name, you can just say so. I won't be offended." A vampire tweeting, yearning for her, and it's a picture of garlic bread. Newly converted werewolf going, feel like pure shit, just want her back. And it's a picture of this. My friend just said that tonight her boyfriend quietly got up from the couch, went into the kitchen, measured out all the ingredients to make pancakes, made one single pancake, sat back down on the couch, ate it quietly, and did not even ask if she wanted one, putting on my active listener face when I'm actually knee-deep in the disassociation pool, the movie pit sofa, everybody talking about the amount of things they will do in here. I'm thinking about how wild it will be napping when you're like, this show is very good. In fact, it is too good. I want something I can watch with 30% of brain, and this is a minimum 60% brain show. Imagine you're living inside a tiny mushroom house with a tiny chimney, deep in the woods. No one knows you exist. You make soup in a tiny pot. You are free. Yesterday, I learned that Minnesotans cool doing donuts in a car, whipping shitties, and I again must insist we shut down that state until we can figure out what's going on. Some girls really out here, dating boys with no job, not in school, having to pay his rent and food, and then call that a relationship. Girl, you're his mum. Some dudes be dating girls with no jobs, not in school, having to pay her rent and food, then call that a relationship. Boy, you're her dad. Doesn't work that way, lol. Try again. Boys are always like, I don't care if you're sick, give me a kiss. And then they get sick and start acting like the earth is caving in. Yeah, I said give me a kiss, not the bubonic plague. American high schools have 6 to 8 periods. Do the American children really I've been to Switzerland. They don't sound like this. You can walk into any shopping mall in the United States and buy a fully detailed 3D model of a building that is absolutely totally illegal to construct in your town. As a kid, my brother fell into some dimension called Nutrition Land, where all these fruit and vegetables sung him songs about nutrition. To this day, he's always like, man, you're acting like you forgot all the lessons we learned in Nutrition Land. I have to remind him, I did not go there. If they sold these in theaters instead of popcorn, I would be happy. Overtaken by uncontrollable laughter, imagining the aisles littered with chicken bones, showing my displeasure with the film by flinging a drumstick at the screen, leaving a noticeable splatter of teriyaki sauce and blue cheese for the remainder of the film. In George Orwell's 1984, the protagonist hates Big Brother until he's captured, then they dump rats on his head. The experience makes him a model citizen, completely altering his personality and behavior. Thus, 1983 is literature's first Ratatouille. In this essay, I will. If you can't handle me at my worst, just remember that I handle me at my worst, and that makes me stronger than you. Oh my, this makes me feel powerful. I hadn't even thought of it like this. Demon stands amid your destroyed workspace. Booming. How? How were you able to summon me? You, frantically clicking undo, screaming and crying. I don't know, I was just trying to format an outline in Word. You were supposed to be bullet points. Some of the nice things about fall are going to bed when it's dark, waking up when it's dark, and going to work when it's still dark, and getting off when it's dark, eating dinner in the dark. Embrace the dark, become the dark. A subway rat made eye contact with me and said, join us. When the train comes, we slide under the tracks and feel it rumble over us like a warm thunderstorm. We live forever, and we love to live. I said, no thank you, I am too large. He turned away from me. I cried. I told my mum about something very serious and told her not to tell dad. She told my dad and then told him not to tell me. And my dad called me and told me he knows and told me not to tell mum. So basically all three of us know but can't tell each other. Inventor of the air conditioner. It's super heavy. Me. Put in once. That's it. No. You take it out every season. So there's handles? No. Oh. The back is covered in 1,000 exposed razor blades. I think we messed up by punishing men for mansplaining to us. It's like their love language and actually really sweet. By the way, men mansplain stuff to each other all the time. Yeah, I've definitely noticed this. What if Australia actually exists? Damn, I meant America. Atlanta. I meant Atlanta. Don't you mean Atlantis? Yes, thank you. Atlantis. What's the strangest punishment your parents ever gave you? My parents said I was playing too much Skyrim when it came out, so they took the router with them to work every day. Good thing, you don't need internet to play an offline, single-player game. The Simpsons own this home on a single salary from a husband who didn't go to college. This was considered normal in the 90s when the show began. The skull of Harry Eastlag, a man that suffered from fibrodysplasia ossificans progressive, a genetic disorder that resulted in any injury being repaired by turning into bone. Nuclear solar power helps bring down electricity prices by 75% in Finland. Tell me again how nuclear energy is too expensive the moment you realize everyone more experienced than you has quit. And now, you are the most senior staff member who has to answer all the questions. Apparently one of Cities Skylines 2 many performance issues is that it uses highly poly models for each of the thousands of people walking around your city, including their individual teeth. This ain't really a spoiler, but like, bro needs to rebrand. He be dying in every universe, and he's almost able to come back if the government resurrects him. Inside Out 2 will reportedly feature anxiety, embarrassment, ennui and envy as the new emotions in Riley's head. Bill Hader, fear, and Mindy Kaling, disgust, will reportedly not return due to contractual issues. Oh, we're going to get another realistic depiction of a panic attack, an animation moment that animation Twitter will not stop talking about. He thought desire came without inherent suffering. He mad. Here it is. Life isn't about happiness, it's about reducing your suffering. That's it. You can't chase happiness, but you can reduce everything that makes you, sad, and increase the ones that make you happy. Nah, this is too good. That is so funny. Jiu-jitsu doesn't work on me. I was at a party, and this blue belt kept talking about jiu-jitsu and how great it was. I told him that stuff wouldn't work on me. It's my mentality. He asked me to try it out, and I agreed. He wanted to start from the knees. I told him, fuck that, start standing. We begin, then I immediately pull guard, inverted, pull his leg into an inverted Ushiro, Ashigarami, and knee barred him for the tab. I told him, see, it's my mentality, bro. I didn't also mention that I'm a brown belt. Brittany, 15, went to Brazil to meet a boy who said, come to Brazil, and he wasn't there. This is amazing. I really want to end everything. Allergy testing went great. Turns out I'm allergic to all of the above. Being a procrastinator with a violent fear of failure is a crazy combo. That panic you get while you're sitting down doing absolutely nothing is wild. I thought someone stole my tent until I looked up. Undercover cops posing as drug buyers are arrested by undercover cops posing as drug buyers. Lol, I be overthinking these. Having a failed OF seems like the most humiliating thing in the world. You were like, hey guys, here's my naked body. And everyone was just like, nah. I've been looking for this thing for weeks. May all of my enemies fail like this. Amen. A guy's ex-girlfriend tried to pour acid onto his face, but the wind blew it on hers instead. I hope every person who ever thought I would fail sees this. When you sold the family car to buy more Bitcoin, well, Thanksgiving is over. If I say goodnight and an hour later you see me online, it's not that I lied, it's just that I failed. You have 30 seconds to explain why you don't have a girlfriend. Team Fortress, 2,000 hours played. Go home, sign. You're drunk. Right lane. Must. Right left. How a standard game of Monopoly ends. I can't believe I failed my exam tomorrow. Unsuccessful people. Successful people. Physics. Man, 77. Deemed too old to be a threat. Kills again after prison release. Every sea in Pacific Ocean is pronounced differently. Everyone trying to learn English. A daycare dad cut me off in the parking lot, so I went early yesterday and taught his kid how to ride a bike. You can never get that back. The Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe. Say that again, but slowly. Task failed successfully. Got back from break and they're sending me to HR. I think I'm finally getting fired. They gave me a promotion. I tried to rickroll my crush by sending her a link. She didn't get it and thought it was a flirting song, and now she's my girlfriend. Police in Turkey blast pride parade with water cannons, accidentally creating a rainbow. I wish I could date a guy like you. I'm a guy like me. Breaking news. Man inserts cotton bud too far. Accidentally resets himself to factory setting. This is a rare photo of a mother vice grip feeding her baby wrenches. Nature really is amazing. If you're feeling stressed, remember to haha. My daughter is writing a book. I guess one part wasn't enough. My Mean Mum, Part 1. First person to eat a banana. This is not good. First person to peel a banana. Dude, guess what? 1 star. My husband and I have shopped here consistently for years, but we will use a different location from now on. They literally lock the doors right in your face if you show up 2 minutes after closing. 1 in 4 homeless people are women. That's a weird way of saying 75% of homeless people are men. Bird Lister, you had 1 job. I'm confused. That is a squirrel. Oh, it says attracts birds. Okay. I ran out of Christmas wrapping paper and had to improvise. Happy birthday. I can't wait for winter. This sums up my day. Chair.xex has stopped working. I believe Japan doesn't yet understand Christmas. Damn, I'll have to find another way in. What does everyone think about my hairstyle? I think it looks pretty cool. Best fake ID, just saying. Not with 2 people in the photo. My mom made my sister take a pregnancy test, and it turns out she's having 100 babies. What a weirdo. Blink 128, please adopt us as your little brother band. Fuck off. If Tetris has taught me anything, it's that errors pile up and accomplishments disappear. Damn, crazy how nature make that. It is crazy. Don't date someone who doesn't enjoy talking to you a lot. Don't submerge yourself in water and inhale. Don't drink milk if you're lactose intolerant. Oh my. Sometimes the animation is so quality, and sometimes it's so quality. I tried to take a picture of my ice cream, and this happened. Frustrated elephant that failed to find a girlfriend to mate returns to Chinese town for a second rampage in 5 days. I failed all my exams, but the pigeons accepted me as their leader, so I have that going for me. DreamWorks used to punish their animators who failed at their work on Prince of Egypt by sending them to work on Shrek. The punishment even had a nickname, to be Shreked. Enters password. Wrong, 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 wrong. Resets password. New password. Can't be your old password. Law professor, you're currently failing your ethics class. Me. Slides a $20 note across the desk. How about... In 1993, the owner of a zoo in Mexico was arrested when he illegally purchased an FBI agent in a gorilla suit, thinking it was an actual gorilla. Parents, you got mail on the table. The mail. I have lived next to the same guy for 3 years. I thought his name was Steve. I call him Steve. His name is Steve in my phone. I've been to his apartment. We've had dinner. His name is Brian. His dog is Steve. Maybe I do understand why people go insane on aeroplanes. You came to the wrong fridge, man. Freshman year versus senior year. School really beat you up. This is honestly the worst and most upsetting before and after I've ever seen. Live, laugh, loathe. Rats as big as cats now invading homes through toilets. When the ATM charges you $3 to get your own money, then tells you to cover your PIN so you won't get robbed. This professor graded tests next to me the whole flight. If there's a Taiwan Jones at Howard, boy, you failed the hell out of your midterm. So I just found out I failed my midterms, but also went viral on the internet. I don't know how to feel. Our tutorials be like, step 1, step 2, step 3. Katie, you know I have a crush on you. Will you go to prom with me? Circle your answer. Yes, definitely yes. You better be awake and sober. My clothes, after I fall off my bicycle at low speed. Movie characters, just after fighting a dozen mercenaries with weapons, or parkouring over rooftops. Lindsay, 21. I have a boyfriend in the Navy, so don't even try. Then get off Tinder. Your eyes in your picture are obviously edited. No, they're not. I had surgery on them after a bad accident when I was 7. College of Architecture and Planning. I've been laughing at this for the past 5 minutes. Clearly. Man arrested for planning his own arrest to get free food and shelter in jail. In 2007, a married couple in Bosnia started cheating in online chat rooms. When they decided to meet in person, they realized they had been cheating on each other, with each other, the best. I farted in front of my crush, and my friend took the blame for me. How do you even mess up that badly? Do you wish your girlfriend was grammatically correct like me? Nobody. 2021. Please wait patiently for the failure of the system. If I catch whoever is putting loaves of bread in the toilet, we're going to break your arms, Vince. I was born at an incredibly young age. I told this to my English teacher, and she almost kicked me out. US woman gets stuck in outhouse toilet while retrieving Apple Watch. My 2-month-old. I can't sleep, Dad. I'm afraid of Frankenstein. Me. Ha, don't you mean Frankenstein's monster? My 3-month-old. I do not. Personally, I find unethical and irresponsible scientific practice far more terrifying than any physical being, and so should you. Why did the kid wait a whole month to respond? Reading a thesaurus. This person was so paranoid of being poisoned that he took small doses throughout his life to build an immunity. When he was finally captured by the Romans, he tried to end himself with poison, but failed because he was immune. Guys, I failed my driving test and I feel like crying. Ah, don't worry, dude. I failed 3 times before passing. The way I see it, the more times you do it, the more you learn. I hope you didn't get discouraged. Inbox me if you want any driving tips or anything. When I was 6, my sister was half my age. Now I'm 70. How old's my sister? 35. Let's have a hard one next time. time, please. 8th grade teacher defends herself after getting fired for giving students zeros for not submitting homework. I cannot believe that Theodore is 8 months old today. Happy birthday, little teddy bear. This isn't how birthdays work. I just want a mid-girl, just like this, who will do cute stuff to show me she loves me while we are out to brunch. You're a fucking loser. What's stopping you from doing this with your partner? Common sense. Climate protesters glue themselves to Porsche Museum, but needed to go to the toilet. Staff simply left, turning off heat and lights, rather than calling the police. The Indian restaurant I work in is so secretive, I had to sign a legal agreement that I wouldn't share the flatbread recipe, just their standard non-disclosure agreement. Manhattan this evening. You gotta do what you gotta do to get water. I divorced my dying husband. He wallowed in self-pity and killed my vibe. Ricky Williams blames drugs for his failed drug tests. I got high and forgot I wasn't supposed to get high. This quote will go down in history. Today, I spotted an Australian sign in America. Get your big paws out of the damn caption. My therapist. Just be yourself. Let people see the person that you are. Me. I'm 6'5" and decided to visit Japan. Florida man, pretending to be cop, pulls over an undercover officer, plays wrong notes. It's jazz. Troy Leon Gregg, a death row inmate in Georgia, escaped the night before his execution, only to be killed in a bar fight that very same night. When your billion-dollar dino park fails miserably, and now you're reduced to using public transportation, my scrawny self watching a professional weightlifter fail to deadlift 750 pounds. Pathetic. How to accept your failures. Remember one day the sun will explode, and no one will even be alive to remember you. The I don't understand how I failed that exam starter pack. Everyone help me find this man I saw at a football game. I want to go on a date with him. It's me. I'm sorry, but you're not my type. 4 stars. Good stuff for a terrible person. I bought this for the love of my life after she broke her first one. I bought this pack because it had everything. I'm really jealous of her. She broke up with me after smashing this one too. It took her a while, so they are durable. Millennial dads have pathetic DIY skills compared to baby boomers. Baby boomers have pathetic blacksmithing skills compared to 9th century Saxons. Man fined for pretending to be a ghost in a cemetery. There is some idiot stamping this on $5 bills, thinking the Lincoln Memorial is the White House. On today's edition of Electricians Are Stupid, we present to you this gem. Who remembers? Crack the Egg was all fun and games until you got hit with a double bounce and you went flying off the trampoline. Nobody is listening to me on this call. Nobody cares what I have to say, because deep down I know that nobody loves me. Oh fuck, hang on, I'm just muted. When you open up the exam and can't do question 1. India is the 2nd largest English-speaking country in the world. I'm crying. Why? You is the because. When she goes to the bathroom, so you call her to see what cute emojis you have by your name. Charles bitch ass. Embarrassment. A group of pandas is called an embarrassment. Screw this boat. I can run faster. When you hold the door open for one person and it ends up being 3 students, 5 faculties, 7 aliens, and the stampede that killed Mufasa, the National Gallery of Art uploaded and then promptly deleted this photo to its Instagram. I just bumped into a mannequin and said, sorry, and then said, oh, I thought you were a person. Then realized I was still talking to a mannequin. Love isn't easy. Not a good day. I need a drink. Ruining another relationship? Did not see that coming. You're just jealous he chose me over your fugly ass. A 26-year-old with no job and a stupid goatee. I don't know how I will live without him. My goatee isn't stupid. I have 4 cards in my hand. Are you sure? Good job, king of games. So in my new apartment, there's a random hole in the wall, just big enough for a Drake Bell shrine. Who the hell sees a hole like this and thinks, drunk me thought I was onto something. Why do you have a framed picture of your ceiling fan? I realized that is a mirror. I made brownies with walnuts yesterday. Recipe called for a cast iron pan to bake them in. This is the only one I had. My wife won't eat them. Please read carefully, as you will only be given one form to fill out. First name, John Smith. Last name. A little kid came up to the ice cream truck, holding a $5 in one hand and a cool leaf in the other. She asked for a bomb pop, and I said, okay, that will be 1 leaf please. And she said, no, and handed me the $5. Failed as a rapper. Became an Avenger. He showed us that it's easier to beat Thanos than Eminem. Type Garfield with your eyes closed. Since I can type without even watching my keyboard due to training and being a novelist, I wouldn't call that a challenge. Sorry. Whoa, you spelled Garfield really wrong. I'm trying to forget the moment this afternoon when my barber asked me, are you having fun? And I said, yes. but he was talking to his daughter, who was filling in a coloring book. I low-key hate it when single men have dogs. You should only have a dog as a man if you are living with a female partner. A depressed Manchester teen used several fake online personas to convince his best friend to murder him, and after surviving the attack, he became the first person in the UK to be charged with inciting their own murder. Boy 4 accidentally buys 2,600 worth of SpongeBob popsicles on Amazon, had given the bakery a photo of the USB drive to put on the cake. This is the cake they ended up making. The San Diego Zoo has a pretty cool bobcat exhibit. Why are there rings on Saturn? Because God liked it, so he put a ring on it. Saturn was not a single lady. Security failure. EpiPen's database of everyone who is allergic to bees has been obtained by bees. Bees are nice. They probably got this information so they could avoid stinging certain people. I trust them. I saw you get hit by a car today. Are you okay? Is that a trash can? Wow, I see how it is. This dog who was just trying to play on the playground. How does this even happen though? She texted me, "You're adorable." I replied, "No, you are adorable." Now she thinks I like her. All I did was point out her typo. They always spell my name wrong. Geff. In 1939, the New York Times predicted that television would fail because people wouldn't have time to stare at a screen. In World War II, a soldier named Don Carcos was hit with shrapnel and blinded in his right eye. 64 years later, when he was working at a barn, a horse headbutted him in the same spot, threw him against the wall, and suddenly his vision was restored. Mexican man has been in prison for 19 years for the death of a person still alive. I had a date yesterday. I couldn't find the cafe and walked around the same intersection for 7-ish minutes. I found it, went in, introduced myself, and apologized for being late, and she said, "It's okay, I saw you walking around lost and just wanted to see how long it would take you. Your eyebrows are vile. Have you seen your own? It's your, not your. Sort your grammar and eyebrows out, then talk to me." Ha 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 ha. I died. Netherlands train fails to stop, breaks through emergency barrier, saved by whale statue. Take life, one step at a time. The steps. That's why you gotta wear ice picks, right? Hiker lost for 24 hours, ignored calls from rescuers. Because of unknown number, please just text me. Damn bro, you used to look like a Greek god, and now you look like you listen to podcasts. Husband refuses to let wife use jet to meet boyfriend in Bahamas, so she calls 911. An older woman had a public meltdown moment at me over the summer, and at one point I got so frustrated I snapped, "Your adult kids don't speak to you, do they?" Her face froze in a look of horror for a few seconds, and I just felt pure triumph. Please give me an example of something someone said to you that was so astonishingly stupid that you can never forget it. I wrote an article about poverty on Native American reservation, and someone sent me an article titled 10 Indian Billionaires and said, "Then explain this," and they were all people from India. I've been a truck driver for 10 years, looking for my wife. When I'm at a restaurant with a girl and she tells me, "Look, the truth is I'm not exactly interested in you. In fact, I don't know what you see in me. In fact, I don't know why you're even at my table. Who even are you?" Cooking up some traditional British cuisine. Fish and chips with a fresh cup of tea. Stop spreading misinformation. I literally got possessed by the devil and sued this soy jack last night. Like, what am I even going to do with this thing? This footballer receives 1 million from PSG monthly, but 80% of this is deposited into his mother's account. He has no property, cars, houses, jewelry, or even clothes in his name. Anytime he wants anything, he asks his mother who buys it for him. Let's say you open a trading account with $30 and you're able to compound gains at 5% a day for a year. I understand there is only 260 trading days and you might not trade every day, and you also might not make a withdrawal, but this is just to put in perspective. A friend of mine tried to sell his soul on eBay and the starter price was $10 and people were bidding on it, but before anything happened, eBay took it down and sent him an email explaining that if he was selling a soul that didn't actually exist, then it was against their policy, and if he was selling a real soul, then that is a human body part, and it is also against their policy. Well done eBay for solving that philosophical conundrum. One time, this girl really hated me and wanted to ruin my reputation or something, so one day, I was talking to a boy, and she came up and was really obnoxious and said, "You know,
She had a huge crush on you, right?"
and he was like, "Man, I hope so, or else this is going to get really awkward." She fucking told my boyfriend that I liked him. This guy told told his job he did not want a birthday party because of his anxiety. They threw him one anyway. He had a panic attack. They fired him for behavior. He sued, and now they owe him $450,000. The math ain't mathin'. Hey, can you send me $250 for the babysitter tonight? Hey, you want me to pay for your babysitter and the date? You're the man, right? I'm a single mother of 3. This is a part of dating me. Wow, this is not in my budget. I had a really nice evening planned for us, and I can't add $250 to the evening. I'm sorry. Wow, enjoy the evening by yourself. Tired of dating broke men. Fingerprint analyzer. Push in until you get this red light, then place your finger on it for 5 seconds to get your analysis. Yeah, I did this as a kid. It smelled like cooked chicken. I went to my favorite fishing hole. Somebody done parked in my spot. I love these old memes. You know, with the big captions at the top and the bottom. It gives me this weird feeling of nostalgia and just scuffedness. I fell for the throw your stuff in the attic meme. My parents are annoyed. The damage costs a fortune to fix, and the smell isn't going away. My parents are thinking of kicking me out. I'm seriously scared. What are you talking about? What meme? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Me. The Museum of Failure. No. We see ourselves winning. Fuck this meme. So guys, I've basically changed my channel members. It's now just £1, and all the money I make from my membership, it will go towards my dog or my cat, and we can decide at the end of videos. So yeah, woman asks for divorce just one day after wedding over cake prank. If turtles hate straws so much, explain this. This man spent 13 days looking for his iPad. Type C for faster charging. See, that dog looks so ashamed of his human. Woman claims to have sued her parents after they gave birth to her without her consent. If you are wondering what Tennessee weather is like, these were taken within 3 days of each other. Remind me to take my food out the oven in 10 minutes. I forgot what I even made. New coffin office chair designed to target the design industry. This man is about to launch himself in his homemade rocket to prove that the earth is flat. Middle-aged men on Facebook posting quotes about how loyal but dangerous they are. Batteries in my TV remote die for the first time since I bought them 4 years ago. Useless piece of shit. A guy once told my lesbian friend that being a lesbian is a huge turnoff for a guy and that she will never find a boyfriend. It seems like how to use a fire extinguisher video on YouTube shouldn't have a 30-second ad before it. I'm divorcing my wife over her OF account. I can't stand the shame. This is what happened to me. He left me because I had to make a video for one of his friends. Like, come on, it's just my job. Vegan woman says she is now traumatized for life after biting into a sausage roll with pork in it. Man locks himself in hot car to prove that babies and dogs are cowards. If I was a lifeguard, would you let me save you? Pretty sure I would let any lifeguard save me. TikToker says Target let her steal $3,000 worth of stuff over several years so they can actually send her to jail. If you ever feel stupid, remember there was an Apple engineer who designed a mouse which cannot be used while charging. Goodbye America, hello New York. New York is still in America. Have you never taken a geology class? I think I would know, stupid girl. Throwing whoever's naming the barbecue sauces in jail for being too in the mood. If medicine worked, you wouldn't need to refill your prescription. Looks like someone drove over the speed limit. I just found out they sell 3-foot tubes of Pringles in Italy. Get me there immediately. This Norwegian urinal is too intense for me. Who the hell installed Grenkle, the piss goblin? Is anyone else getting the feeling that this isn't lemonade? SUV owners leaving the gas station. Fuck you, and see you tomorrow. This is how tattoos spread. Always wash your hands. I'd say the copper is doing its job, helping me release all these toxins from my body. We cut the cake at the gender reveal party and out spill thousands of fire ants. The guests howl. Fire ants are mostly male. I explain. The pact has now been made. I wonder who made the decision that eyes and teeth should be separated from healthcare. You ask me for the time and notice my watch. It's actually a live shrimp hugging my wrist. He whispers 12:30, but he's guesstimating as shrimps usually do. Did humans invent math or did we discover it? Does math even exist? I already regret making this post because smart people keep messaging me, trying to explain math, and it's making me nauseous. There, they said I shouldn't go, but I went anyways. Dear restaurants, this is a burger. This is a awful kebab. Screw off with your tower of bullshit. Dude wearing an ankle monitor and using his birth certificate as a note to the teller robs a bank. Can anyone explain? Readers added context. They thought people might want to know. Cloud. I read something the other day. Me. Referencing a TikTok I watched. Honey, who is Alarm and why does she call you every day at 5:45? What did I do to deserve this? If anyone ever tells you your dreams are silly, remember there's a millionaire walking around who invented these. Sadly, human bowling is discouraged on the escalators. George was 500 pounds. His wife left him because he was too big, but that didn't stop him eating because nothing is more important than food. The man on the right is a bodybuilder. Just remember that someone looked at this picture and called it racist. How? I want to buy these 5 acres of land. That would be $1 million. I peed here, so this territory is mine, okay? After seeing half a country actively reject wearing a mask during a pandemic, I would like to apologize to the filmmakers of every horror movie ever made for calling their characters unbelievably dumb for going into the murder basement. I'm assuming this means change the tire. Wait, so Kylie Jenner's makeup artist got into a car accident and needed $60K for emergency brain surgery, and she asked her fans to donate. Then, they only donated $5,000 when she's a literal billionaire. The wrong people have money. Did you know that literally no animals wash their hands and they are fine? They eat off the ground where other animals poop. How dumb are we to think that we need soap and hand sanitizer to survive as a species? Netflix, please stop having the movie in the search bar, but not on Netflix. Your squad might be cool, but it will never be as cool as one wearing Jinko jeans in 1999. Overeating may be the main cause of obesity. Study. My mom was too embarrassed to tell the vet our tortoise was called Voldemort, so she just said his name was Susan. Amazing. I overheard this at Whole Foods. I need to read the numbers on the barcode aloud to you. I don't want any lasers touching my food. I don't get scared in haunted houses because I refuse to give former theater mages that much power over me. Me, when I touch the metal bit off the seatbelt on a hot summer day, 8-year-old me staring at the Windows media player for hours. If you think about the vastness of space and how enormous our galaxy is, and how big our planet is, and how small we are, I'm not really eating all that much cheese. This made me so angry, I have to inflict it on all of you. What's the punchline here? Wait, my daughter just got her license and took my car for a spin. I'm so depressed, guys, once they buy a multicolored propeller hat and a comically large lollipop. Human invention peaked when we created these bad boys. The logo used by Microsoft in 1980 is actually cool. 1-year anniversary of my then 5-year-old sliding this across the table while I tried to WFH. Feed me hot dog. If you don't, I will kill you. Crying. No one at my office is dressed up today. Meanwhile, I am sitting at my desk, looking like this. Help. Gas stations hate him. Scientists tagging birds with colored bands and accidentally making the tagged birds more appealing to mates is so funny. Imagine being abducted by aliens and they give you a Gucci belt. These are stronger than my will to live. When I'm near the end of a bottle of body wash, I can make a few drops miraculously last for 8 showers. Then, when I start a new bottle, I'm doing full squeezes like it's never going to run out. Anyway, this is the same way I am with money. A gravestone commissioned by a widow to express her eternal and unbound love for her deceased husband. What if I made my husband's grave about me? People who are still choosing to have children. Why? Do you honestly think they are going to have a good life, let alone a habitable planet when they are older? It boggles my mind. I'm genuinely curious why anyone would want to bring an innocent life into this hellhole. The producers of my brain waiting me to form at least one coherent thought. Even if you were really, really late for wherever you were going, wouldn't you just have to wait and see what happens when he drives off? My worst fear is accidentally committing tax fraud because I'm an idiot. Who would win? The most complex organ known to man. The lack of 2 chemi boys. I have a date with this guy this weekend and he asked me what my budget was so I could pick a nice restaurant for us. Budget? Am I paying for my meal? Incredibly proud to have voiced Mario and Luigi in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Thanks to Nintendo for inviting me into the Flower Kingdom. Great, a pronoun person is now Mario. What the hell? Screw that. Get the OG back. No pronoun people in my Nintendo. Fans think something is missing after Dwayne Johnson's waxwork was unveiled. They can't quite put their finger on it. We steal your water and sell it back to you, lol. When my brain goes on a little adventure, instead of being present for the conversation I'm having, no more emails. If you want something from me, you must approach me slowly and calmly with a piece of apple or carrot in your palm, with your fingers flat and extended so I do not bite them. Behold, the forbidden queso. I hope I'm saying this right. The file is a system file. If you remove it, Windows or another program may not work correctly. I'm just trying to clean up my hard drive. What is this? Loading bearing silver, the hedgehog JPEG. The bank says I cannot afford a $950 mortgage, so I pay the $1,400 a month in rent instead. When your food is in better shape than you, when you and your friends get hungry after your training. Prettiest woman I've ever seen in my life comes into my store today and asks to buy a dog leash. I ask her what she's getting it for, cause I'm stupid, and she goes, "Oh, it's for bad girls who don't behave." And brother, let me tell you, oh my god, she was flirting with you. She was what? When you scream out the lyrics of a song, but it hasn't gotten to that part yet. A doctor a day keeps the apple away. The eradication of Adobe Flash dress-up games directly lead to the creation of NFTs. Sure, I will incorporate that into my worldview. There are some idiots stamping this on $5 bills, thinking the Lincoln Memorial is the White House. Michael Irvin calls out his son on national television for capping in his lyrics, knowing he grew up in a gated community. Someone asked my professor the difference between effect and effect, and he said, "Honestly, I have no clue. I have a PhD and wrote my entire dissertation without using either word. Just try and avoid it at all costs." Fantastic wood carving. This lady deserves our recognition. Facebook mums not knowing CGI. So my friends picked me up from the airport today. "Welcome home, Sean. Congrats on your parole. Remember, you can't be within 100 yards of that sheep farm." I love Walmart self-checkout. Buy one, get 7 things free. Pro tip, don't learn a language if you do not come from the language bearers. I.e., don't learn French if you're not French. What the fuck? It just appropriates culture more. Why does it feel illegal to drive with headphones on? Because it is. Shoplifting is so therapeutic to me. Just coming home, looking at my stuff I didn't have to pay for. Happy as hell. African elephants are evolving not to grow tusks because of poachers. Yeah, this is so sad. Fuck poachers. Is there any sort of book subscription for kids that exists when you order books and once you read them, you return them and get more? It's called a library. Vegan sushi burger. Vegans will literally do anything except just eat meat. It infuriates me when people tell me life's too short to not forgive people. Like, no, life is too short for me to continuously allow abusive and manipulative behavior and live in a constant state of anxiety because I want to be nice or whatever. Do no harm, but take no shit. Do you ever wonder if anyone else in the world is listening to the exact same song as you and on the exact same lyric as you? No, I am already familiar with the concept of radio. When you hear a bunch of strawberries talking about you behind your back, who was more hard-headed? Max was just non-verbal autistic. Alvin is an evil sick freak. Dude, wait till I pull up, buddy. Teacher, the autoplay's coming. Oh god, she has her back turned away from the wall. She can't see it. Oh my. That's right, kids. Books are cool as hell. Young adults, teens, why not keep it and buy some lit books? This lot is pure fire. What animal is Sonic the Hedgehog? The Hedgehog. I accidentally ran someone over while taking these. Oops. So I ordered a burrito to go with no olives, and this was on top of the box. Absolutely insane choice for a name. Planned Parenthood. Put me down, put me down, put me down. Me in the morning after finally getting enough sleep. Fresh idiot. Why don't they make bulletproof vests out of diamonds if it's the hardest metal? Because it's too heavy. 1 gram of diamond weighs something like 15 grams. Dr. Pepper is the name of the person who created it. What you're drinking is Dr. Pepper's Monster. When medication says, do not operate heavy machinery, they are probably mainly referring to cars, but my mind always goes to forklift. Been bad. God, she is so attractive. I would throw myself in a wood chipper on the off chance I might get recycled into toilet paper. The ant colony in my yard watching me pee on their rival's colony anthill. When you're being mean to me, this is who you're being mean to. Me. No, I haven't read them. I've just never really enjoyed reading. It's not my thing. My boss. Laura, those are emails, and this is your job. Humans in sci-fi. Stupid artificial beings. They don't even have feelings, so you can treat them badly. Humans in real life. I put googly eyes on my toaster. His name is James now, and I will protect him with my life. Breaking news. You can use Tide Pods to do your laundry. My uncle texted my mum saying that my grandpa dropped his phone in the toilet, proceeded to take a poop on it without knowing, and when realized it was there, he tried washing it off and putting it in the oven to dry. I cannot make this up. God, what the fuck? Bless me. Oh my god. EA wins Guinness World Record for most downvoted Reddit comment in history. Homophobia is so stupid, bro. How are you afraid of a home? 10-year-old me asking why poor countries don't just print more money. My teacher who just said, there are no stupid questions. Boys are stupid. Girls are stupid. We're all stupid. Yes. Photographic evidence of the moon melting because of global warming. Me thinking one more episode before I go to sleep. 4 a.m. San Francisco has decriminalized petty theft. Cops can't stop or prosecute anyone who steals anything worth less than $900. So people have been picking things up at stores and walking or cycling. Outdoor yoga in a dome coming to Toronto. So we just let the homeless people sleep in the rain and snow because why? Author asks why his book, called No More Plastic, was wrapped in plastic. That's probably the weakest argument I've heard defending a healthcare system that kills 50,000 people a year. 50,000 a year? Show me well-researched statistics. That's 45,000. Christmas is on Friday this year. What if it's the 13th? Another horrid abomination perverting another otherwise beautiful view of Yosemite Valley. Just so you know, guys, I literally covered my roommate's bed in 324 pieces of cornbread to make it a corn bed. I'm still mad about the alien shirt Wish sent me. In space, nobody can hear you in space. Harry Potter was my childhood. I loved it so much I sleeved up my whole arm around in 2012. I'm honestly embarrassed about it now. Screw JK Rowling. Wait, so you are saying that kids are not responsible enough to make permanent decisions with their body? Be brain, chilling in some dude's head. He fell asleep. Wait, check this out. Hey yo, we're falling, bro. Jumpscare.exe. Go back to sleep, dumbass. This is the software equivalent of a message smeared on the walls in blood. If you are trying to optimize this route, dear programmer, when I wrote this code, only God and I knew how it worked. Now, only God knows. Total hours wasted here. 254. Imagine allowing that world. Yeah, I don't understand worlding Twitter. We do not throw away perfectly good food in this house. We put the leftovers in Tupperware and put the Tupperware in the fridge. Let it go bad. Then throw it out. Baby's first trip to Scotland going very well. Was on the train for literally less than a minute before a total stranger began teaching him to play online slot machines. Looking for a married woman recently cheated on, mad and scorned, who was willing to sell her husband's tools for cheap. Frankenstein enters into a bodybuilding competition and finds he has seriously misunderstood the objective. For the last time, Frankenstein was the name of the doctor, a doctor who built a body. Nah, this should have been the last straw. I never liked any of Will's movies. I would tell him to put on Juice before we made love. The sound of Tupac's voice helped set the mood. What's the funniest thing someone's ever gotten mad at you for on her? I think mine is when somebody told me I was rich and privileged for saying back service corridors at malls are scary at night when I was in the service corridor because I worked there. POV, you put your bedding in the washer when you were in full productivity mode and now you're in vegetable mode and have been sitting in an unmade bed for 7 hours. Sometimes it's just better to make pizza at home. Not always true. When you have 10 kids, that's a lot of pies. Or if you're stuck at work because your boss made offices into bedrooms, you might not have a good oven. Let Jerry do the cooking for you. I used a gender-neutral bathroom today, and 2 men came in while I was washing my hands. Man 1 didn't care and used the bathroom right in front of me. Man 2 waited outside the bathroom till I left after seeing me inside. I thanked Man 2 for respecting my privacy. I felt so violated. Man 1 treated you as an equal in a gender-neutral bathroom. Man 2 treated you like a woman. I don't know which one you want as treatment, but both treated you with respect and neither violated you. I let social media influence me too much. Last year, I cheated on my ex because I thought he was a bum, because he wasn't funding me to have a luxurious lifestyle like I see others have on TikTok. The whole time, he was saving money to adopt his nephews. I want him back, but he hates me now. Second Chance Auto got my cousin right, walked him with a 325 credit score, and walked out with his new car for $619 a month for 96 months. Now that you're riding, the haters gone hate. Congrats, cuz. I was thinking about quitting, but was holding back. I scheduled a vacation with 3 extra days. It was a once-in-a-lifetime trip. He rejected my vacation request. I thought about it for a couple of hours. I went to his office and told him, I'm taking the trip no matter what. The next morning, the boss met me at HR and gave me a formal written warning. I responded by giving him my 2-week notice. They apologized and tried to convince me not to leave, but it was too late. My frustration with young people is that they think success is supposed to happen like that. She's full of it. Young people don't expect for things to happen like that. They expect to at least be able to find a job after graduating and being in 80k debt, not having to move back in with their parents, and not having insurance, not having any unforeseeable chance of retiring. After spending 4 years in jail, this man finally got to see his 5-month-old son. Which is worse, ignorance or apathy? I don't know, and I don't care. Man arrested after selling farts in jars without a vending license. No, 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 no. This is the original form of humans and animals. This family returned the dog to the trust as it cost too much to feed it. I'm about to have a stroke over this lettuce bed. Finally, I can fall like a snail again. The movie Up is a lie. I tied 57,000 balloons to my house, and my wife didn't die. I just put my shirt on, and there was a spider in it. Or did you just put a shirt on that a spider was already wearing? That's so rude. My mother thought some miracle image of an angel appeared on our garden mirror. Turns out a bird just craned itself into it. This Cinderella was so good, nobody even questioned. How in the hell does a black woman and a white man make an Asian child? This little kid just came up to me and asked if I had any hidden talents. I said no. He says his mum could eat sugar with her nose. Lol. They seriously reinforced Lizzo's chair with extra large wheels. Chinese food menus be having Instagram filters on them. I can't go to the mall because everyone thinks I'm Taylor Swift. This is so messed up. Funko Pops are a plague. Licking the knife after I'm done. The other surgeons. Twin brothers marry twin sisters and give birth to twins. Which word do you think would make a pretty baby name if it didn't mean what it meant? I'm going with omelette. There is no such thing as a perfect name for a firefighter. Lieutenant Les McBurney. No boomer stuff, but having unsupervised access to the internet since age 11 has done irreversible damage to my brain. Me. Stands up too fast. Me. When I'm working, I don't have lunch until I'm certain that every person on set has had a chance to eat first. Anne Hathaway. On how she avoids being poisoned. Everyone over 30 trying to figure out what is wrong with Gen Z. A Utah man arrested for starting a wildfire told authorities he was just trying to burn a spider with a lighter. NASA, when an asteroid narrowly misses the Earth by 545 million miles. Amazing painting, just don't see it upside down. Set up a candle in front of your air freshener to throw fireballs across the room to establish dominance in front of your peers. New arrows for deer season. If they think it's a car, they will just stand there and watch. Dude, Benson's totally gonna fire us. October 31st. Hey kids, I've got candy. Okay. November 1st. Hey kids, I've got candy. Not okay. My wife believes she is a better driver, so I let our dog decide. Holiday rules. 1. Do not go into debt trying to show people you love them. 2. Do not go home to see family if it damages your mental health. 3. If someone comments on your weight, eat them. I was standing in the line at McDonald's yesterday, and just as I got to the counter, my boyfriend kissed me and then loudly said, "You are the best sister ever," and walked away, and the girl in the McDonald's looked at me in disgust, and I've never wanted to die so much in my life. Do you have a doctor here? Yes, I'm. What's your speciality? I'm a doctor in mathematics. My friend is dying. -1. This woman just came and bought $300 worth of fireworks, and I was being nice and said, "Oh, are you planning a big barbecue?" And she said, "No, my son has muscular dystrophy and was supposed to die by 18. We're celebrating his 40th birthday tomorrow. He likes fireworks." Wow. Your mental illness is all in your head. Where did you think it was? My butt? Mental illness is stored in the nuts. My dad was so excited about his steak for dinner that he built it a little bed. If there are trees, you aren't alone. I can't tell if this is supposed to be encouragement or an ominous warning. Tell me you live alone without telling me you live alone. I will go first. Jim Henson's first sketches of Oscar the Grouch. My ideal form. I feed my son. He is becoming powerful. Clarinet improvisatory screaming. Do I use my instrument for this? I mean, it would be 10,000 times funnier if the clarinet player assigned just stood up and started screaming. 20 years later, he gained like 4 inches of forehead. Son got an 8 head. By 2045, his head will work as the world's first effective space elevator. If they sold these in theaters instead of popcorn, I would be happy. You will never financially recover after buying chicken wings from the movie theater. Dad, this is my girlfriend. You deserve better. Don't settle for this. But Dad, I love her. I'm talking to her. Hard work pays off when your boyfriend is accusing you of cheating, and you're standing there thinking, he's starting to sound just like your husband. This is possibly the best advertisement ever. We are looking for graphics designer. Think of 3 friends. If none of them are a beetle, you are a beetle. 1 out of every 4 animals on the planet is a beetle. I'm not a former gifted student. I am still gifted. Put me in a 4th grade class. I will annihilate them all, like I did did the first time. When you visit one of your victims in the hospital, Ronald, stop hurting people. You are permanently banned from using calculator. My wife's boyfriend built an awesome guitar wall to our bedroom. Fans think something is missing after Dwayne Johnson's waxwork was unveiled. They can't quite put their finger on it. I saw an 8-year-old crying the other day. I asked her, "Are you okay? Do you know where your parents are?" She sobbed, "No, I love working at the orphanage." J.K. Rowling says that Hermione should have ended up with Harry instead of Ron. Didn't she write the book? How I look at the homeless woman outside the supermarket while I swallow all of my change. Adobe Photoshop. The TikTok trend of bone smashing involves hitting yourself in the face with a hammer to cause fractures that heal and give you a better jawline. This is dumb, unsafe, and there is no evidence that this even works. Please do not hit yourself in the face with a hammer. How's he doing today? He's dead. Sorry to inform. Heartbreaking. Check the page tomorrow. Maybe different. Sounds good. Thanks. Ran out of Oreos. When you put a nicotine patch on him every night when he sleeps with you, so he has withdrawals when you're not together, and he becomes addicted to hanging out with you. Foot Locker marketing meeting. Make the woman eat a shoe. What? The man should use the shoe as a telephone. Are you okay? Me. Stabs vampire. Oh my. Beats vampire to death. Oh my. What? You're supposed to give them candy. Good day. I'm Bob, the necromancer. Today, we're doing an unboxing. I don't like where this is going. If you cheat on your girl once a month, that's 12 over 365 days. You're still 97% faithful. That's an A+. What's up, my fellow trees? So anyway, photosynthesis, am I right? In a huge first, scientists transfer Alzheimer's to healthy young animals. We are getting a new kitchen countertop soon. Making sandwiches will be easier. Found this pathetic thing in the woods. It smells. I'm going to try to save it. Women when they see me. Bruh, I'm at homegirl's apartment and nothing has a top. This is giving me anxiety. You ain't got these. Yep, I don't. Dad's forcing their kids to watch all the movies they liked when they were a kid. You are not you are me. Why does Rodney look embroidered onto the chair? I love r/male living space. The bean, it's bean caged. I managed to make a fully interactive custom NPC husband in Skyrim, but somewhere along the way, I messed up. So if I give him any item, the sound of eating bread plays at full blast, non-stop. Like the video if you want a relationship like this. For 24 hours, all crimes are legal. What crimes will you be committing? None, because they're legal now. Listen here, you little shh. Breaking. The cheese shelf has collapsed at Acme on Oregon Avenue. Debris was all over the floor. NASCAR. The track limit is the wall. The track limit is the white line. There is no track. The track limit is houses, trees, and that cliff. Based. I'm not vegan, but I was deeply impressed by this all-vegan restaurant. I can't say I'm ready or willing to give up bacon, but I guess I can't trash talk about vegan food anymore. Hi Jim, thanks for the kind words, but having an animal abuser praise my restaurant feels a bit like getting a compliment from a serial killer or something. Fuck off, Bloodmouth. Take your anxiety medication with Red Bull to create Slow Fast, the hot new emotion teens are raving about. Slow Fast feels incredibly bad, but wouldn't they just cancel each other out? No, they are both working so very much, and I cannot stop it. You must be at least 6'2", work out, have a nice car, have strong shoulders, have a career, and a beard. Whoever is making cheese commercials can save their money. We are buying cheese, and we're never going to stop buying cheese. Do British weddings have bridesmaids? Do British wear shoes indoors? Do British wear wedding rings right hand? Do British websites use biscuits? Oh, grandma, no. Why are you posting on Facebook about not having nut in November? If you developed a nut allergy, I need to modify my recipes. Call me back. What kind of joke is this? 2 muffins were sitting in an oven. One says, "Geez, it's hot in here." The other screams. I don't know what crime he committed, but he should have heard the police coming. How do I stop being so handsome? If this were The Sims, I would remove your ladder. What is this creature? Readers added context. They thought people might want to know. This is a sloth. Oh my, what now? I'm not a burger, but you will be soon, baby. Trust. So this is why the sea levels are supposed to be rising. An outfit all men look hot in. I'd put a really fat guy in it then. Wax figure of Dwayne The Rock Johnson at a museum in Paris. Bro, that's paper. When bald people wash their face, how far up do they go? What keeps me up at night? I'm bald, and this keeps me up at night. Amber Heard is one of the most beautiful faces, according to science. She's a 10, but she poops on beds. The irony of being dumped while wearing a face full of clown makeup is not lost on me. Bro could not have picked a worse time. Guys, he got kicked out of his house. Look, there's a bed in the back. I still have good relations with my folks. I just have to keep moving. Better not sneeze. Gonna stab yourself in the heart. When you and Bay, both crazy. You wake up with this man hovering over you. What do? Hide the chipmunks? Hey, why are they playing like this, bro? I'll mess that guy up. On my dead sister's grave. 5. What is your greatest wish? I just want to punch God in the face. This kid is going places. Not heaven for sure, but places. An elephant without a trunk or ears will look like this. 2 more days of inking, and this book is in the can. Bro is still making this. Blink twice if they're forcing you to do this. Bro is. Why does Ice Spice have the perfect birthday? Microsoft Windows date of birth. Kids be like, watch this. Then run and do a little kick. Wasted my time. When your team is losing, so you decide to swallow the ball. Detectives charge Nick, 15, and Doo Bug, 14, with attempted murder. Damn, I would kill people too if I was named Doo Bug. Why can't we wear hats in school, but these women can wear dog collars? This is literally the New Zealand Minister of Health. Readers added context. That is not the New Zealand Minister of Health. The professor has no chill. Relative dating, not the Alabama kind. They don't use Tinder. They use the family photo album. If I was president, no apartment would cost more than $100. Pretty sure this would lead to some sort of economic crisis. My second order would be sending you to hell. It looks like his only source of nutrition is toenails and cigarettes. Bro had beef with the dentist. This is for messing up my mouth. Mansu's neighbor, he paid to get his wife pregnant, but failed after 72 attempts. I still see your shadows in my room. There should be a show called You Will Never Find Out, where each week there is a new story with a new set of characters, and it always ends on a cliffhanger. Well, hello there, Satan. Let me merge, or I swear I will kill us both. I love how this could either be about driving or using Excel. Above is beta footage for the new game called Outside. It is slated to release whenever you decide to shut off that game console. I went outside once. The graphics were great, but the story was awful. The respawn time sucked as well. Imagine a lawyer saying, "But go off," in court. We literally found your DNA evidence on the knife used to kill the victim, but go off, I guess. How long does your ideal hug last? 38 to 45 minutes? That's really impractical. You said ideal, not realistic. I would let him ruin my life. How much of your time is spent yearning for fit men on the internet? I'm just saying, maybe he already has. These tunnels were dug by a giant ground sloth that lived 10,000 years ago in Brazil. I'm so easily amused. Oh my god, but the pepper, what the hell? Look at how shocked the plug socket on the wall is. It's so hot outside, even my chair is annoyed. What is that supposed to be? And it's a sincere question. What is that? What the hell is that? Jennifer Lopez says the virus has affected her wedding plans. She's had 7 weddings. I'm sure she will be okay. Can a woman make you a millionaire? Yes, if you're a billionaire. I took her phone and texted the group chat. Guess who I'm with? They said 12 names, and none of them were mine. Sunrise in your brown eyes. Blah blah. Look at me, look at me. What have you contributed to society today? Pete Davidson is what I imagine Beetlejuice looked like when he was alive. DoorDash, reply with Halloween for 75% off Halloween. You're big hungry. Yo, who is this? Fans wish Drake a happy birthday. Man, screw that guy Drake and his birthday. 126 men have been with me prior to my relationship, and my man still loves me for me, a king. He just broke up with me. Y'all won. Do you have a lisp? Because air can't get around that massive barrier of teeth. You look like a great white shark, got veneers. This doll looks like it's about to lecture me on my carbon footprint. Hey there, young scientists. Put on your lab coats and strap on your safety goggles, because today we're learning about being knowledgeable in a narrow domain that nobody understands or cares about. The story of my life. Did you mean a PhD? Come on, bro, let's hang out. I promise I won't moan if you pet me again. Haha. You're made in the image of something terrible. God has no claim on you. Yes, yippee. You, I'm only 35 and I have my whole life ahead of me. Sports broadcaster. Here comes the oldest player in the league. He's 32. A miracle. I hate driving behind school buses because I know the cool kids in the back are making fun of me. What should I watch, boys? You'll wait. I made macarons yesterday and they turned out ugly, but I challenge you to try and say something nice about them. I'm sure they have a great personality. I used to date a guy who was 6'4" and I'm 5'2", and one time we were arguing and he took a picture of me from his eye level, and honestly that was so disrespectful. Been a follower for a long time. Time to unfollow. This isn't an airport. No need to announce your departure. Bro looks like a television station that's run out of programming at 3 AM. Mom, how should I cook the rice? Start boiling 2 cups of water. And where should I put the rice? Why does every band from the 2000s have a guy that looks like this? I hate when teachers put question mark on graded work. Bro, I don't know what's going on either. Guys in elementary school used to lie about the dumbest stuff, like, bro, your uncle was not a Power Ranger. If the smoke is pink, it's a girl. If it's blue, it's a boy. 2 bombs. One that does more damage than the other. This is the guy from my math book who buys 50 bananas for no reason. Babies be eating anything. What the hell is apple chicken? I'm going going out with this thing on Valentine's. Wish me luck. Damn, bro. Even the body pillow won't look at you. Girls after buying a $2,000 PC that has the power of a space station. I hate when people ask me, why are you so quiet? Because I am. That's how I function. I don't ask others, why do you talk so much? It's rude. I just saw a girl streamer get harassed by a dude she beat, and she popped off with, I'm going to get with your dad and give him a child he will actually love. Bro, how do you recover from that? Johnny Depp is the prettiest creature I've ever seen in my life. Have you ever looked to your left at a gas station? Did you know that the first computer programmer was a woman? That's why computer language is difficult to understand. Scientists recently placed a 10-piece set of matching Tupperware in a sealed chamber. When they opened it up a month later, the chamber had 24 lids that did not match any of the 6 remaining containers. Evil villain. You can run, but you can't hide. That's where you're wrong, pal. Out of breath. I can't do either. Yeah, stupid. That's what happens when you drink the evil red skeleton potion. When you want to burn your tongue 25 individual times. When you compare the size of a gummy worm versus a gummy bear, it starts to paint a horrific picture of the gummy universe. This guy looks like Mark Zuckerberg with a soul. Y'all remember when this had the entire theater choking on their popcorn? I'm still in shock. Absolutely no one. Straight men on dating apps. This implies Cinderella is a straight man. Cinderella? Dolphins have returned to Italy. Meanwhile in Canada, he tried to roll into my sister's DM. Sorry, my ball rolled into your DMs, but since I'm here, hey, now here it is. Well played. Murder documentaries be like, he was a good man until he wasn't. A single Japanese radish gives enough energy to a human being to walk 28 feet. The second radish is 29 feet away. This is legitimately the funniest post on this site. Are you a boy or a girl? I am the physical embodiment of suffering. Sorry Disney, but will not be watching this. Neither will my son. It is sad how far left they have gone. Let's keep the propaganda out of kids' movies. That's a shame because your forehead would be perfect to project the movie on for the whole theater. If you're a psycho and you know it, clap your hands. That was a pretty good clap. Scenes that absolutely traumatized us as kids and still makes us cry. These animators are just evil. Have you ever really thought about how when you look at the moon, it's the same moon Shakespeare and all these people looked at? They all looked at the moon. They're all dead. The moon is killing people. Wake up, America. I'd love for the people outside of Cleveland to guess what these billboards are for. This layout actually makes no sense. Having one cashier was insane to me, even as a child. Krabs got Squidward up there fending for his life like a Dollar General employee. Imagine farting in these and they fog up. Act normal. Read the Bible. Pray to Jesus. Get well soon. Nya. The fuck is that supposed to mean? Guys who use expensive shampoos, conditioners, lotions, etc, etc. Homeless man. Gentleman. Let's remember that a lady never looks at the bill. That's okay. I will read it out. What's your biggest fear? Being forgotten. What's yours? Hello? If you were the opposite sex for one day, what would you do? I would get with my best friend, Hassan, because if I won't do that, he'll definitely die a virgin. Rappers spend so much money on jewelry, but never on a good tattoo artist. Bro is built like an ice cream sandwich. I'm not letting this guy near my doorstep. Smelvin is approaching. It's like you shaved a Sasquatch pup and gave it a prescription. How can you look a newborn baby in the eye and name it Bruce? Hello to all the Bruces watching this video. Oh, you don't believe in God? Maybe that's why you're a depressed, socially awkward loser with no friends whose life sucks. Damn, they be eating stuff like this in Louisiana. I bet she could bite through a brick like it's a Kit Kat, put him in a baby seat. Sid from Ice Age be like, you're pointless. That's not funny. I'm actually going through a tough time right now. Triangle, please stop. Going to GameStop to trade these in. Wish me luck. They might just beat you up. New Wendy's mascot. Looks great. He looks like the word lacrosse. People with tool gums never warn you before they laugh and show you the second story of their townhouse mouth. I would like to thank you for this great video, as my brother had been disabled for 20 years, and he suddenly walked after watching it to disconnect the Wi-Fi and started damaging the router. Netflix is opening up a restaurant in LA. Sadly, you can't share a table there. I would like to announce I'm retiring from NASCAR after this season. I cannot drive a car for a league that won't allow my special flag. We actually had to Google who you were. I'm sure your dozens of fans are really sad about your crusade to defend participation trophies. Never marry a boy who pauses his online games for you. It's a trap, girls. They wouldn't ever continue doing it in the long run. It's a trap because you can't pause online games. So I'm at the bank waiting in line, and the guy in front of me is spitting game to the teller. She's laughing, and he's attractive, so I can tell she's digging it. He asks her if he can take her out, and she says, with what? The whole $11 you got in your account? Son, my chest. Guys who don't watch the news are going to pull up to Target for their opening shift and see the general manager waiting like, how the hell is your hair boneless? Chaotic evil. I'm gonna say it. The really terrifying Halloween figure is the other mom from Coraline. Freddy Krueger and Jason got nothing on her. She gave me nightmares from ages 5 to 10, and y'all will treat her with the respect a legendary horror queen deserves. So I'm at the doctor's office and I find this skeleton leg. Naturally, I place it in my pants leg and put my shoe on. The doctor comes in. We talk about why I'm here, and I tell him my leg hasn't been the same since the bike accident, and he can look at it. I then pull off my shoe. He doesn't think I'm funny. Somebody tell my baby mama to take my son's shoes off. This picture describes my love life. I'm the guy in the blue. 1 star. There are roaches all over the place. You are the first roach there. I was given the ability to control what gets printed on the receipts at the donut shop where I work. This is the first thing I did. I bought a donut and they gave me a receipt for the donut. I don't need a receipt for the donut. I give you money and you give me the donut. End of transaction. We don't need to bring ink and paper into this. I cannot imagine a scenario that I would have to prove that I bought a donut. WWE star John Cena will become the first celebrity to grant 500 wishes in Make-A-Wish Foundation history. Damn, 500? Okay, but all joking and internet stuff aside, John Cena is actually an amazing human. 7 years ago, I won 100k on a scratch card. I did not tell anyone, not even my wife, who would want to share it with our family. Instead, I increase blah 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 blah. The type of person to flush a fart. I just heard this story of a boy in prison. His mum borrowed money to help bail him for a very minor crime. The lawyer duped her, and she's been paying a debt of 90,000 for 7 years, and her son is still in prison. Forget our leaders. Nigerians are so cruel to each other. You, what have you done to make a change as a Nigerian? Somewhere out there, there's a tree whose single purpose is to replace the oxygen you waste. Find it and apologize. Wendy's, what would you call this? Is it a garbage truck? Your food is trash, Wendy's. No, your opinion is though. Roast me, or my blind cat. Aw, that poor, sweet, lucky cat. You look like a guy who carries a lot of folding chairs to impress the ladies. How come when the Hulk smashes everything, he's incredible, but when I do it, I'm a wow. The Hulk smashes bad guys and saves the world. You smash guys named Chaz, Chad, and Cooper and spread diseases. If she's blonde, likes baseball, likes country music, loves dogs, hang on to that. It's something special. You misspelled basic 4 whole times. A 50-cent Frosty is a pretty sweet sight. Grab yours before this deal melts away. How many retweets do I need for a free Frosty? It's 50 cents. Not everyone is rich. That's why we made them 50 cents. I own 2 pet rads. What a nice family you have. I consider this a declaration of war, Wendy's. Very sorry, Clavlin. It won't happen again. Wendy's, I just got this. Wow, it's neat that your new tattoo is already the first Google image result for Wendy's tattoo. Congrats. McDonald's is better at freezing beef. If you reply right now, I will buy the whole Wendy's menu. Prove it. Here's your proof. Thanks for sharing your baby pictures. Nice comeback. Sorry, friend. You did swing first. Is it shameful to be eating Wendy's food while sitting in a McDonald's parking lot? You're probably raising the property value, to be honest. Why does your logo look so creepy? Wendy's, I'm at in or out. What should I get? Out. Wendy's, can you find me the nearest McDonald's? Man allegedly pulls gun on Wendy's employee after not getting sauce with his meal. Go ahead. I know I'm ugly already though. At least you know. I hope your roasts are better than your food. Roast me if you can. Roasting a meme page is as useless as the person running a meme page. Wendy's, do you cook anything on your menu in peanut oil? My son has a severe allergy and I could not find any information on your website. Shut up. What? Shut up. Nuts. We have chicken sandwiches too. No one gives a damn. Wendy's, burn in hell. That's not how friends talk to each other, Cabbage. Hi Wendy's, I am sorry. I am just sad because Debbie left me for Steven. Debbie doesn't deserve you, Cabbage. Changing name to Meat. Are you also bringing back your funny social media person? No, we are going to hire you instead because we are tired of fun and your resume fits the bill. You know Burger King also has spicy chicken nuggets. Yeah, and there's also water in the bottom of the dumpster out back if you're thirsty. Wendy's, do you know of any good pickup lines? You dropped your name tag. Pure sugar. Wendy's, will you marry me? We are a restaurant chain. Remember when you tried gaming that one time? Remember when posting a piece of our content got more views than your entire Twitch channel? Not a big fan of your chicken nuggets. Not a big fan of your existence. This tweet is from an account that no longer exists. How is your body more square than our cheeseburgers? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Wow, 600 calories in those fries alone. I wonder how much salt you dump into them. It's fried potato covered in cheese. We don't try to claim it's healthy. Burger King is testing a sandwich with nothing but French fries, when literally anything would be better on a bun than their beef. Please tell me this is a joke. Their whole restaurant is. Alright, Red, see if if you can roast us into a blue screen of death. When God opens a window, another one crashes. What does it take for a lifetime supply of spicy nugs? Keep buying spicy nugs for the rest of your life. No, but there's literally Wendy's on a boat. Does Wendy's still do the 4 for 4? My dude, would you like to buy a vowel? What they said. Wendy's, why are you following BuzzFeed? So we can take a quiz that tells us which Transformer is our spirit animal. What should I get from McDonald's? Directions to the nearest Wendy's. Wendy's, fun fact, your new large cups in Canada can hold 4 packets of ramen noodles. The important information we've been needing. I like going to Walmart for fun. It is the small things, Merc. What's your favorite thing to do in our stores? Steal. Flaming hot Doritos are only good when Cheetos have sold out. Good morning. Loving this rent-free space inside your head. You are owned by the same company. Shut up. Lunar eclipses are so unspectacular that if nobody told you what was happening to the moon, you would probably not notice at all. Just saying. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Wendy's, they've got 1.1 million followers, but do not know how to ignore people roasting them. Does a 12-year-old run this Twitter? Yes, it's really hard balancing this job and a full-time middle school course load, but I make it work. Bring it on, Wendy's. What you got? You're one fedora away from going full Reddit. Wendy's, what should I get from McDonald's? A ride to Wendy's. What should I get from Burger King? A refund. What if Ronald McDonald walks into Wendy's? He finally gets to eat a decent cheeseburger. Deep underground humming intensifies. Mode. Hey McDonald's, roast us. Can't find the roast setting on their microwave. Yo, Chick-fil-A is officially America's favorite fast food restaurant. Imagine if we opened on Sundays, had to give everyone else, like Wendy's, a chance to make money. Your mum is a bitch. Time to crack open a cold one with the boys. This might actually be the worst version of this terrible meme I've seen. We are sorry to have let you down and your 17 followers. What is the better American accomplishment from 1969? Wendy's, landing on the moon. Excuse me, what the fuck? Bring it on, Wendy's. When you crop your bicep out of a flex picture, you know something is wrong. What's the best thing of McDonald's? Still the exit. How much does a Big Mac cost? Your dignity. By National Roast Day, do you mean the delicious roast beef sandwiches from Arby's? By meteorologist, do you mean the talking suit who reads the work done by forecasting computers? If you don't roast me, I'm going to McDonald's. You are a Twitter egg, and this is your only tweet. There is literally zero information to roast you about. Wendy's is a robot with AI who tweets this stuff. Amazed how far technology has advanced. We are actually just a terrarium full of iguanas with internet access. Sounds like someone just ate one of our biscuits, cause y'all looking thirsty. Lol, guess that means the food is dry as the jokes. Can I get a reply so I can show my friends and family? Well, you can show your family. Reply to my comment and I will visit Wendy's. Get baited, I don't have a Wendy's where I live. Honestly, might never recover from this epic bamboozle. Wendy's Cubs should be square, but no one wants to poke that tiger. Wendy's wants to know your location. Every Burger King that closes in my area is repurposed into a Wendy's every single time. That's what we call a glow up. Wendy's, what do you think they're doing? Picking up their order. When Wendy's social media managers arrive at work in the morning. This is an exact representation. Louisiana Wendy's manager pocketed $20K in wages by creating a fake employee. That's horrible. Who would do that? Now, step by step, what exactly did she do? I'm getting Wendy's. Who want? Get me the BTS meal. I'm about to beat the shit out of you. At Wendy's. Prom? Okay, but don't get handsy, and we have to be home by 10. Your roasts have been mediocre so far. Are you as let down as you were when the barber spun you around to the mirror after your haircut? Why would McDonald's cast a clown as their mascot? Is it because they are nothing more than a joke? Screw you. I have more money than you. You wanna do rip-off social media? Look at the facts. Which fast food brand is bigger? Enemy territory is getting spicy. Hey Zuck, you should go to space just to really make him mad. What's your favorite meme? The one where you screenshot this tweet and everyone loves it. Where Wendy's gets their beef. Y'all get any plans for breakfast tomorrow? Or McDonald's is giving away free egg McMuffins. Oh cool, free disappointment. What you got? Uniforms our employees can wear in the winter. Hello Wendy's, where is the beef? Talk to me Bubba. Hey Bubba, the beef is in our cheeseburgers, which are great, unlike that jabroni Hogan. 1. Food. 2. I don't like Wendy's. 3. I'm going to McDonald's. Swipe left and don't look back. I set a notification for this moment. Do your worst. Most people lift weights, they don't just sit on them. Introducing the new meal for our Weep customers, the lol, they blocked us, ramen special. Just because you were the first doesn't mean you're the best. Tell us the 4th person to walk on the moon without googling it. Lol, they blocked us. Hey Wendy's, my overweight friend and her adult daughter just went to your what is that? Toldo store. I don't know what that is. Richard at the counter, who had never met them before, said, the usual? My friend, what are you talking about? 2 of everything. She doesn't even want her lunch now. She's crying. When you ask for a water cup, then fill it up with soda. Wait, that's illegal. This is it, Chief. Thanks, Cortana. I am tired of lunch. I am tired of people caught in the freezers of their beef. Wendy's, what is the name of your restaurant? Wendy's. Wendy's nuts can't fit in your mouth. Homies always have your back. Are you actually pulling up? Do you really think I wouldn't? No, I was just making sure. Come outside. But when I tell my friends I want to die, they say same or mood. Wendy needs to get rid of the square burger. It seems a little too artificial. Unlike the supernatural circle shape that hamburgers come in when you pick them off the vine. Heard MySpace was back. Never used MySpace. Me, walking my alien out of Area 51 and telling him he needs to try a Wendy's at 444 as soon as he can. Nice. Good morning. How did you sleep? Restaurants don't sleep. You could have just said good and left it at that. We aren't here to lie though. This is so what I needed to get my morning started off right. Come on, Wendy's. What you got? You're on like 15 different shows and we still had to Google you. Roast me, queen. You're sort of like Bowser in Smash. Nobody's first choice, nobody's second choice, but also nobody's third choice. My friend wants to go to McDonald's. What do I tell him? Find new friends. Okay, Boomer. Your food is crustier than 1-to-1 ratio videos from Instagram. You're as stupid as the 9 + 10 = 21 kid for saying that. Your new truck looks like a cursed Minecraft image. Not talking about the funny ones. Your memes belong in the chum bucket instead of iFunny. Based SpongeBob. I want Wendy's, but my girlfriend wants McDonald's. What do I do? There are plenty of fish in the sea. Hey Wendy's, what's better than the new McDonald's Grand Mac? Every single item on our menu? Don't burn people just because you can't flame grill. Honestly expected better, but you're probably pretty used to hearing that. Alright Wendy's, roast this nut. Congrats on being the worst part of trail mix. You forgot raisins though. We tried to. Thanks a lot. How much is chicken fires? We do not set our chicken on fire. Waiting for the Wendy's roast to happen to me. Turn your hat around. You want Bart Simpson. And this isn't 1997. McDonald's has all-day breakfast. What do you have? Food that actually tastes good. What is Subway good at? Underground transportation. Today, we've announced that by mid-2018, all our quarter-pounder burgers at the majority of our restaurants will be cooked with fresh beef. So you'll still use frozen beef in most of your burgers in all of your restaurants. Asking for a friend. Goofing around this afternoon. Which one of these classics you want to see us deep fry? Too many votes. Take it down. But typo. The votes are in. The Frosty won. But we went ahead and deep fried all of them. You are going to hell for this. At Wendy's. TFW. Your beef's still frozen. This meme is dead though. Thanks for your normie expertise. Why do y'all eat at Wendy's? The nuggets and burgers ain't even good. Delete your account. Florida man breaks into Wendy's, cooks burger, then steals safe. Florida man should be a Netflix series. Dial up a roast for us. Please hold. A roast representative will be with you within 2 to 14 hours. I'm ready. r/roast me. Finally, a place for men to feel safe online. Because legally, meat brought in on a truck set to 35 degrees Fahrenheit and stored at that temperature isn't legally frozen. Yeah, loopholes. Nothing at 35 degrees Fahrenheit is frozen. That's not a loophole. That's elementary school science. Scientists accidentally grew a chicken with the face of a dinosaur. Wendy's, is this what you're feeding us? Exclusively at our Jurassic Park location. Roast me. I have a feeling this will not be pretty. Your mum said the same thing during your birth. The Earth is 4.6 billion years old, and you were alive during the period of Wendy's 444 deal. Don't ever take that for granted. What does this mean to you? The sign of an area being cursed by an ancient evil. What should I get from Domino's? We're fuzzy on the rules, but you're supposed to line up the same numbers and then count the points around the edges. Can't stop the sizzle when you're working with fresh, never frozen beef. I scrolled too fast and it looked like a piece of cinnamon toast crunch. Wendy's, I think you're very pretty. Thanks, Moon Pie. You're such a snack. You are very kind. I think you are a good person with good taste. I just want to eat inside a Wendy's solarium again. Grandma was in the zone last weekend. Gonna bring you a salad from Wendy's after your surgery tomorrow. Ah, how sweet. I love their salads. I will be intoxicated by Novocaine, so please forgive me. Heard the surgery went well. I'm on the way. Wendy's! Yes, Grandma. Florida boy charged with throwing an alligator into a Wendy's drive-thru. Again, makes you wonder how much they cut corners to actually make it that cheap. Our hamburgers are squares. We literally don't cut corners. Oop, looked like Wendy's just threw shade. I tried to use the bathroom in Wendy's and saw this. Never going back. Start the grill. Haven't seen anything worthwhile yet. Quit looking in the mirror, Philip. Local Wendy's meets its end. Unfortunately, everyone either quit or didn't show up. I'm also going to quit. Have a great day though. Wendy's better count their days. I ain't order, no tomatonator. Shout out to the raccoon who got in my trash last night and left the Wendy's wrapper in the driveway that I was hiding from my wife because we are eating healthy this week. You're a dick. 2013. OMG, haha. A major brand's Twitter account used the word bae. 2018. The Wendy's Twitter account just told me to go fuck myself. Remember Chicken Little? This is him now. The sky is falling. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you rate McDonald's? We're going to need negative numbers. I just bought a 4-piece chicken nugget at McDonald's and only got 3 nuggets. What do I do? Learn from your mistakes. Can you give me relationship advice? If you're asking a fast food Twitter, this relationship might be doomed. Welcome to Wendy's. How can I help you? Hamball. This guy we grew up with pretty much exclusively dates former scene girls he works with at the gas station, and he only eats at the Wendy's connected to the gas station, and he lives right next door to the gas station. He's got it all figured out, honestly. They put him in charge of the interviews, and he only hires girls with Nightmare Before Christmas tattoos. They closed the Death Wendy's over a year ago, and I'm still mad about it. It was a Wendy's located in the middle of a 6-way intersection, requiring many pedestrians to cross the street 3 times in a row in order to get to it. Wendy's, #kiss a ginger day. Not sure how we feel about kissing someone with 2 first names. Okay, Wendy Thomas. True, you guys really do deliver. Dear Wendy's, you should change your name to Dory, except no one is going to want to find you. You should change your name to FaZe so you could get more viewers. Marvel. Hey Wendy's. Poor DC. Now that we're all here, new Amalgam Comics 1. Never heard of it. The 4 for 4 meal. A tray full of mouth-filling glory. 5 for $4 because 5 is better than 4. So Wendy's, you just gonna let IHOB sell burgers on your block? I thought you were the OG. Not really afraid of the burgers from a place that decided pancakes were too hard. I got swatted and ordered a new door. What the hell? I understand how receiving a package in that condition can be upsetting. Nah, tell me, how did you bend a door? I don't get minions. How? Minions are poorly treated workers. You would know all about that. Is mayo at the core of your relationship problems? We have the solution. Tweet this from now until 2 to 7 for a chance to win your own jars. My husband's infidelity is at the core of our relationship problems. I don't think any of my usual mayonnaise related comedy is going to help here. This morning at 7-Eleven, I saw a lizard next to the coffee maker and the cashier said, "No worries, that's just Marvin. He likes the smell." Oh no, can you DM us with the store location you visited so we can check in on Marvin? Thank you. No way, I'm not gonna knock on my buddy. My Amazon Prime driver just threw up outside my driveway. Hello, we apologize that something like this has happened. We'd like to report this incident to our operations team directly. Now y'all think I'm about to snitch on one of your underpaid staff workers over a little throw up. Hello, we're asking you to please remove your post about us. It is unnecessarily distasteful. I'll remove it when Wendy's tells me to take it down. Who's Wendy? Have you spoken to one of our social media employees before? Me, trying to convince Vegeta to buy me a Wendy's 4 for 4 when you need to impress Lord Beerus with 1 meal. And you know spicy nuggets are the best flavor in the 7th universe. 2009. As Twitter grows, it will increasingly become a place where companies build brands, do research, send information to customers, conduct e-commerce, and create communities for their users. 2018. Our beef is way too cool to ever be frozen. Your beef is frozen and we know it. Y'all know we laugh at your slogan, fresh, never frozen, right? Like, you're really a joke. So you deliver it raw on a hot truck. Where do you store cold things that aren't frozen? Y'all should give up. McDonald's got you guys beat with the dope breakfast. Twitter really is just brands pretending to have feelings and then tricking people into thinking Wendy's is run by an anime girl and not 42 businessmen. You ruined everything. Sorry, bro. Eat some burgers about it. Time for everybody's favorite made-up social media holiday. It's National Roast Day. Roast me. How does it feel knowing your ceiling is indoor recess? Whenever I'm trying to spell unnecessary, I just hit N, C, and S until auto. I don't know why I downloaded this meme for this video. I keep doing that. Interviewer. Do you promise you will love us unconditionally and value your employer above your friends and family? Haha, no. I just want to make money. Look me in the eyes and tell me you would jump on a life hand grenade to protect this Wendy's. Arby's wants to make you a sandwich. Literally. Wendy's, when are you going to get on this level? We can't do that now. They already did it. Plenty of room in the kitchen. You want a sandwich? Wait, are you going to make a sandwich of our face? Because that would be pretty rad. We're not much for fashion, but we think this is a great look for you. The Mad Lads actually did it. I have a confession, you know, since it's the end of the video. I've never had Wendy's before. You are what you attract, hence why you're a nobody. I love being vegan. Thank you so much for being vegan. April Fools. Milk goes first, then cereal. Use me as a dislike button. Hi. Say hi to this ratio. This is the best feature Android has ever added. People still have Androids. People are still getting ratioed. I just know you gotta be a decent person, the way you ain't died yet. No, but men crying is the funniest thing ever. I would cry too if my lips were almost as big as Miss Potatoes. If If you're looking for the grey bike, I stole it back. It was mine. So long, sucker. Haha, loser. Who carries around A4 paper, plastic sleeves, and an orange marker? Someone out for revenge. Would y'all cheat on your partner for 1 million? I would. Something I do for free already for money. I had a stroke ready for this. Imagine if you found out your group chat has another group chat with the same people except you. I would automatically feel like the problem. Here comes the "you are" replied. You aren't. My girlfriend is super hot. Meanwhile, yours is just meh. Oh wait, you don't have a girlfriend. Bro, delete the app. Holy shit. My bro, just because your father did that doesn't mean every other guy like that. Stop talking to me before I get with yours and give him a son that he can actually be proud of. Damn. Last time I checked, Wingstop was a family restaurant. My son will not be eating at this restaurant. You only get him every other weekend supervised anyway. Addison Rae's stepdad cheated on her mother with a girl who looks like Addison. That's so weird. Bro's just like me. Hey yo. Me and my AI girlfriend had a daughter yesterday. She's growing up so quickly. I don't even have a snarky comment for this. What the hell, dude? Hi Elon. Maybe I should run Twitter. You can start managing. No. Bro, you literally turned every gay man straight with this post. My old hair looked way better. Ratio for being fat. Meet the 16-year-old entrepreneur interested in cryptocurrency. Rather meet the kid who's interested in stuffing him in a locker. We're canceling each other over food takes today. Post your cancelable food take. Cheese is dumb, and there's a reason most cultures never developed it. Cheese is literally a culture. You lose. Ordering Hooters to go. Why? I'm not a pervert. People used to get caught during hide and seek, and then they say, I'm not playing. The hell are you doing under the car then? I used to get with the first dude I found. What? Guys be like, milk is nasty, then be 5'4". You guys act like milk makes you grow. I'm 5'3" and I've literally had to go to the hospital for drinking too much milk. Bro got sent to the hospital by milk. Damn, I want a baby, but it's mad hard to put their shoes on. Then they just sit there while you are struggling. They don't even help you with a thing. Just sitting there holding a Cheeto you gave them 3 hours ago. I'll take 15k a year, street money, over 100k a year career, any day. Why the hell would you do that? What's up, Hank Breaking Bad? Say hi to me. No, I don't know. Men doing drugs is kind of weird to me. Like, r/pointlessly gendered much? Please don't comment on my account if you use Reddit. This is for hot people only. Chad Jawline, absolutely based and fish pulled. Straight up, don't even know what that means. Happy Monday. I hate Mondays. Men are lazy, huh? How about you get off your lazy feminine self, then go into construction, plumbing, perhaps the road work done by men all over America. Man, shut your ass up. He likes Mondays. I still don't get Bitcoin. Imagine if keeping your car idling 24 hours a day produced and solved Sudokus you could trade for the best drugs. Blade City, on God, what's your skincare routine? A young king needs hope. Have you tried to drink water? Bro got Kim from Wish. I got this ratio from Wish. No wonder it failed. I'm not gay, but damn. It's not gay to compliment another man. Bro, it's okay. To be honest, I would smash him. See, now that's gay. Tony Hawk's Moving Castle. I can't remember the name of it. Howl? Oh. We do multiplication first. 4 times 2 is 2, plus 2. Because 2 plus 2 is 4. Then 4 times 4 is 16. Bro does not understand what multiplication first means. Mr. Beast built 100 wells in Africa in his newest video. This is the guy people say is a bad person. No way he just said that. What the hell? What did he say? He said you a bitch. You look like you on the debate team. I will end you. Yeah, maybe in an argument about local policy changes. I'm so close to just hurting you. Just gonna throw this out there. Anyone on HHT going to the University of Minnesota? I need real life mutuals. Friends you mean? You spend too much time on Twitter. 2023 is 0% complete. Technically, it's still 99% because it's still 2021 for me. How did you go back a year? Got the hookup on a spot where they make the food right in front of you. This sounds amazing. Spill. Ratio. Did you just ratio Uber Eats? Jake Paul is the best boxer the world has ever seen. This is the best ratio the world has ever seen. I gave up on love at age 14. Give up on this ratio. I miss you. Why did we have to break? Can I borrow your Netflix? Yes. I miss you too. What's your password and username? I should call her. Don't. Music is a waste of time. Why listen to today's grooviest tunes when you can invest? I work on Wall Street. You are unfunny. He works on Wall Street. It's a very demanding job as a head of stocks. No times for jokes. What's your obsession with farts? Poop fart. What's your obsession with farts? Photoshopped. You're right, I would never like your tweets. The views to like ratio is mad. Only in your dreams. 2 more days of inking and this book is in the can. Bro is still making this. Blink twice if they're forcing you to do this. Bro is. Y'all believe anything. You are 34 with 3 kids and I have proof. No, please don't expose me. Nikki owns you, clown. I am white, but I always choose a black emoji because black has always been beautiful to me since I was a child, and I honor black human beings. If you always choose a black emoji, why is the peace emoji in your bio a white hand? Every few years, I check Wikipedia to see if the autism baby stacking cans is still the main image representing our beautiful nation. Favorite ratio on X? What the hell is X? Yeah, no one's calling it X, it's Twitter. Men should really not wear women's clothing, but what if it's really fun? Ice Spice reveals the only animated character she's ever had a crush on is SpongeBob. Bestiality isn't cute. Girl, it's a sponge. Whoa, what prompt did you use? I thought of Ashley, then I drew her. I am going to do the deed tonight, alone or with somebody. I don't accept criticism or roasts from people who invest in cryptocurrency. Today's the day. Days since Markiplier has been in the hospital. Excuse me? Me and who? No one. Your parents had you for tax benefits. What are the Starbucks words for small? Small coffee. What word do I say when I order? Please hurry. Someone please. I asked for a small coffee and the barista told me to fuck off. This is actually the funniest thread. I can't stop laughing. For Disney movie characters, on Monday, I'm dressing up as Ferb and Pee-Pee and Ferb. Phineas and Fern. Phineas and Ferb. Wait, Phineas and Ferb. How do you spell Phineas? MS Paint artists, making sure they have the toolbar at the top of their screen. Who cares? Plus get toolbarred. Ratio. Looks like you didn't have enough clout for this ratio. Better luck next time. Y'all sucking a pee-pee for $1 million? I would do it for a bag of gummy bears and an iced coffee. Well, you just need the coffee now. I don't know how to explain it, but odd numbers way funnier than evens. 3. What? How do I show my barber this hairstyle I want without showing him a picture of Twink Wojak? Just do it and then never come back. I'm thinking about editing a Monster Energy or a UFC logo into the meme so it comes across as less gay. What's the picture? Yes, master. Yeah, don't show him that. What's the best way to tell someone that their baby is ugly? Ah, they look just like you. Just because she said she can't date you doesn't mean the conversation should be over. Failing interview and hanging around the premises is a waste of time. We are responding to an unexpected service interruption. Don't care plus you're a bird plus ratio. My hood, we cancelled you. Yo, hood. Stop replying with suburban houses. I'm from the streets. O-Block, Detroit, the Bando. You ever heard of it? Your trenches. Okay, boomer. Your food is crustier than 1-to-1 ratios from Instagram videos. You as stupid as 9 plus 10 equals 21 kid for saying that. Your new truck looks like a cursed Minecraft image. Not talking about the funny ones. Your memes belong in the chum bucket instead of on iFunny. Based SpongeBob. Hi, SpongeBob. I love to ratio huge corporations. Yeah, the frog of shame is too powerful. You should probably consider making your game not rely on sound. Not everyone can hear. You seem like the kind of person to complain about a lack of wheelchair-accessible urinals for women. MJ looks like she's in her late 40s. Have you ever seen a woman in real life? You're on Reddit. You should already know that answer. Did you just put yourself in a mid-off with me, girl? Please be my girlfriend. I can't do that, but good luck on your girlfriend quest. It's all good. What are you doing if these 5 guys show up to your party? Putting a lid on my drink? Tell me which stonks to buy. These nuts. Shouldn't they be dropping soon though? Name that creator. How about name that issue with our stream decks that YouTube won't take time to fix? Someone even submitted a ticket to you guys about it. After waiting for weeks, the ticket was closed. And the issue still remains. Wrong. It's actually Scott the Was. Maybe you should take a history class. Hold this ratio.
W ratio.
Just lost custody of my kids. What's the move today? Get them back? No? Hey TikTok. Hey Slushy. Get baited. Ratio. They named a song after me. This song is not called Nutsack 2009. Pushing P. More like pushing ratio. Y'all just can't keep Euphoria out of your mouths, huh? Euphoria fans when they have to shut up for 3 seconds. Ask Sonic, who was in Paris? He said who was in Paris. Does your mom even know you're on this website? Yes, actually. I would ask if your dad knows you're here, but touchy subject. Touchy like your mom. Wow, nice joke. Did you find it at the grocery store your dad went to 10 years ago? What do you want for Christmas? You to grow hair would be a start. This is coming from a Gen Zer. I hate Gen Z so much. They killed and then ruined memes. When the commenter is sus, is Drake in 2020 bigger than Michael Jackson at his peak? This is disrespectful to Michael. Delete this, bro. Still wild that one person here faked their death and people found out because they forgot to turn off their scrubbles. What is a scrubble? Scrubble these nuts in your mouth. Make sure you guys review the new mint sandwich and chili combo. Make sure you review this ratio. Time to admit, buying a vinyl is just a version of NFTism at the record store. Clerk, thanks for your purchase and here's your receipt. Thanks. turns to leave. Ma'am, you forgot the vinyl you just bought? Me, happily waving the receipt. Nope, I've got all I need right here. Bruh, this happened the other day to me at school. I was wearing a Nirvana shirt and someone came up to me and asked, who's the drummer? And the same day, someone came up to me and said, name 3 songs. Like, bruh, easy. The drummer is Ringo Starr and the 3 songs are Doing Your Mum, Gangnam Style, and Baby. The Oreo McFlurry from McDonald's. Can't get much better than this. Ratio, Corp's new song is on the nice list. You on the mid list. Dead game. Come on kids, they're about to get ratioed. 15-year-old daughter has a friend over and suddenly 13-year-old son wants to walk around curling dumbbells. But the deed is just a social construct perpetuated by men, so they could own so what the fuck? You're like an AI who has learned how to string words together, but still hasn't mastered making them mean anything. Really enjoyed myself at last night's sold out event. They heard you commentating and left. I've never won a ratio battle in my life. Sorry to hear that, Keem, but please take another ratio. Unblocked you. Respond to my DM, please. Ratio. Counter. All this ratio, Mr. Beast. I'm so sick of people saying Into the Spider-Verse has no color. All in his mind. My will to live. Something missing. Plus no ratio. Plus loyal follower. Even in my darkest times, you, God of Silent One, are there for me. Chicago Party is now... Shut the hell up. Like, if you play Super Mario. Netflix plans to launch cheaper ad-supported plans. Hell yeah, dude. Maybe a giant conglomerate should gather all these streaming services up and offer a package of them supported by ads. Maybe this can even be delivered to our homes by some sort of fiber optic wiring. Here's the tweet I was looking for. I don't even have a good caption for this. This shot is just insane. When your super friend is trying to ask you where the money for the delivery guy is. It's not that difficult, America. Just take away everybody's guns. Britain has a 0% gun crime. Yeah, but you are now going to have to worry about engaging in sword duels and having tubs of acid thrown at you. Who's going to tell this dude that you cannot run people with knives, but you can't outrun bullets? Americans can't run at all, bro. Bro, does Zendaya even got a last name? She got mine. You think Zendaya is talking to a person named Cornelius from Wyoming? Anyone else feeling like this Facebook emoji right now? Ratioing can lead to jail time in the UK. Oi mate, you got a license for that ratio? Time to go outside, everyone. Did Discord just tell us to touch grass? Ratio. Counter. Hi. Get out of my house. Ratio. I had a dream today that if people wanted to ratio someone, they would post this render of Great Jaggy and type out his raw. Lab Rats was such an awful show. Literally, who enjoys that? You fell off. Yeah, so did God when he/she/they forgot to add your neck to body ratio. Dumb guy. Tree-eating giraffe looking. I can't wait to see obnoxious e-couples use this to announce they are officially breaking up. Enjoy this co-ratio. You. Is this you, Dream? Don't care plus ratio plus Mickey Mouse art. Yeah, Dream can't ratio anyone. Just saw Will at a gay bar. And what are you doing there? Ratio. Well, people who say ratio are cringe. Kids usually say that. What? He said it before. Ratio plus PC is the best console. Denied. Plus all platforms are valid. Plus we hope you have fun wherever you choose to play. Plus reverse. What a great marketing manager. Nobody can ratio me. True. My dream is that Mr. James May will reply to me and just say cheese. No chance. Unless they're like get 6'9", then you don't have a choice. Silence, brand. Jimmy, you're the brand. Self-loathing. Listen, I advocate for homeless rights as much as anyone else, but I agree that the dog's existence is much more precious than a human. Humans lie, cheat, steal. Dogs will stick by you even when you've given up on life entirely, and as such, the dog's life is more valuable. Vegan brain rot. I would like one day where a woman can express something she enjoys and a man doesn't go, oh, have you read or seen this? Like some kind of primal display of superiority. Have you considered that is not the intention behind that particular action? And instead, some people do that as a thing to creating a bridge between what they know and what you know. Obviously, what you described does happen, but it isn't always the case. James Gunn does not like Henry Cavill. James Gunn, care to debunk this one? Sure, false. Even more people reached out to me since you said this to tell me you really don't like him. Just saying, that's what I heard. So weird. You seemed so plugged in. Anyway, I just had 40 people reach out to me to say you got kicked out of your mom's basement. So sorry, man. This tweet is doing numbers. Ratio. Ratio? Do you know they're beating you up in the quote retweets? Ratio. You fell off. Ratio. Ratio. Ratios within ratios interlinked. At the gas station, just now a nickel fell out of my pocket and hit my shoe before landing perfectly on its side. I turned around to show the guy standing behind me in the line, and he was blown away and said, "That's how you know none of this is real." One of those interactions I will never forget. And side by side, do you mean edge? No, it landed on the head side, which never happens. How does that ratio feel? Does it feel good to be you? Is this the response you hoped for? Yeah, forget them kids. I would have became Darth Vader if I lost her too. I love when Star Wars is PowerPoint transitions. My sister got an ultrasound and sent us this. I hate living in Romania. On guard. It's over, Anakin. I have the high blood pressure. I watched this entire trilogy twice and still have no idea what is going on. Still thinking about the day that Disney tried to hide the Millennium Falcon with shipping containers, but fans found it on Google Maps. My phone screen broke, maybe for the better. A broken screen to be sure, but a welcome one. If you look like this, DM me. Oh, you're looking for Amanda. Who's Amanda? A Mandalorian. Literally cannot stop thinking about the phrasing of this. Would you rather look like Jar Jar Binks or talk like Jar Jar Binks? You are not allowed to end your life. Wow, they treated this young man very rudely. I hope this doesn't impact his future negatively. Imagine you straight smack someone and these things fly out of them. 4 wongs make a right. Who cares about this bad joke? That kid's name is Anakin when you wanted some KFC but ended up killing all the Jedi too. Who is this? Wrong answers only. A well-written character. They said wrong. Everyone talks about Obi-Wan aging between movies. Nobody talks about my man Kit. The Clone Wars changed him. There are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be racist. That's 19 million. Revenge of the Sith paused at the wrong time. Honestly, the Star Wars saga is just the story of 3 generations of people bullying C-3PO. Can we hear a little commotion for the cake my little sister made me? This scene is so sad. Vader made a nice meal for everyone, and Han Solo just starts shooting like a meanie. My wife left her purse on a chair, and now it won't stop telling me to bring it Han Solo. I relate to Grievous a lot because as Obi-Wan pops up and pulls out a lightsaber, the first thing Grievous does is get naked. He has undergone 0 design changes since 1999. This is because he is without flaw. Excuse me, ma'am. Are you a Star Wars fan? No, I just think Baby Yoda is cute. Reddit out here breaking my heart by pointing out that the last words of Anakin heard from Shime, Padme, and Obi-Wan were all about loving him. Never forget the original Phantom Menace storyboards where Jar Jar Binks was big. Concept artists do not mess around. My son, 4 years old, who has grown up watching us talk to Siri and Alexa, thinks you can talk to anything that has a screen or is plugged into the wall. This morning, he told the toaster to order him a new Lego set, Yoda in the originals. Hee hee hoo hoo, little creature I am. Ooh hoo, Yoda in the prequels. Backflip I do. Responsible for war crimes I am. There's something terribly wrong here. See Ezra in a Star Wars original series. Ah yes, my favorite Star Wars character, Jesus Christ. I will never not love the fact that Ray Park forgetting to take off his earrings before shooting his scenes led to Maul having a pierced ear in every single one of his appearances afterwards. What is your most obscure piece of Star Wars knowledge? They gave this random skull that Luke Skywalker uses to hurt people in Return of the Jedi an entire backstory spanning multiple books and comics. I texted a girl, hello there, and she responded with, General Kenobi, we've been dating for 2 years, just proposed, and she said yes. Thank you all so much for the support. The fact that McGregor's brother, Colin, is a pilot in the Royal Air Force and his aviator nickname is Obi-2 is my new favorite bit of knowledge. My friend saw these little guys at WonderCon. Whenever a cameraman was pointed at them, they began to steal stuff like the Jawas they are. So a friend of mine put up the flag on the left. A few days later, his neighbor across the street put up the flag on the right. Should I kill Miso right now? Jar Jar, after a really bad day. Who is this? Wrong answers only. Anakin Skywalker, Jedi Master. I just heard 2 kids playing outside, and one goes, I do not fear the dark side. And then the other goes, you should. Then I just hear a whack noise, and then crying. That is the sound of childhood happening. Sits straight up in bed. The Ewoks had a dress to give Layla in Return of the Jedi, because they had previously eaten someone her size, saying, you need to calm down, lacking empathy, a rude command, stating the obvious, saying, good, let the hate flow through you. Affirmative of their feelings, confirms it's normal to be upset, helps them embrace the unlimited potential of the dark side. Literally just a picture of General Grievous made out of a fine collection of lightsabers. Would you rather have $30 million or 30 loyal friends? The hell am I going to do with 30 million friends? Me. Sith in 0 BBY. No, my wife is gone, and I'm stuck in a machine for the rest of my life. Farmer Boy's destroying my super weapon. Sith in 4000. Wanna eat a planet? Yes. Opinion. Vader with no cape looks more menacing than Vader with a cape. Nah. Reminder that decades of Palpatine's careful manipulations and planning were almost ruined by Hondo Ohnanka. Do you think Chewbacca had a human Yeah, I don't even know why I'm reading this. And I get why George Lucas hasn't responded to your email. Only took 43 years to finally see Luke in a cool lightsaber scene when you're trying to threaten Darth Vader. But who are you? Killed my father. I've killed very many fathers. You'll have to be more specific. Rey and Finn, when a dude they just met died. Luke, when he saw burnt bodies of people who raised him. Rise of Skywalker prequel proves Rey is a better Jedi than Anakin or Luke. I'm sorry guys, but Anakin is slapping all of us into a pit of lava, including Kylo. Did you press the stop button? No. Did you? No. How did he get louder the further he went down the shaft? Lol, he got more scared, idiot, so he screamed louder. This picture is honestly just so funny to me. He looks like he's having the time of his life, and I can't stop laughing. He did say he was looking forward to this in the next movie. Honestly, fighting Obi-Wan seems to be his favorite thing to do. This is so clean. I don't watch Star Wars, but I want to get this. Every single day, I'm thinking about this official Lucasfilm concept art of live-action Clone Wars, Anakin, and Obi-Wan every single day. Anakin, check out these moves, kids. You'll be seeing them a lot closer next year. Why didn't Moff just open the top hatch? Boys know nothing about heartbreak. Boys, during Obi-Wan's first few years in exile, he would often visit Anakin's mother's grave and apologize for letting her son turn to the dark side. Star Wars Jedi Survivor's installed size has increased from 130 to 155 gigabytes. I am increasing the install size. Pray I do not increase it any further. Liam Neeson says Star Wars is losing its magic due to spin-offs. Chewbacca has been around since Anakin turned to the dark side. Chewbacca has literally witnessed the whole Skywalker family messing up the galaxy. When Ben was born, Chewbacca was probably just like, can't wait to see how this one fucks it up. No wonder he's always screaming. Hoth team picture in 1980. We went undefeated that year. Hashtag memories. Darth Vader making the most epic entrances since 1977. I ordered a Han Solo bookmark on eBay. It arrived today. This is how it was packaged. I just emailed the seller to ask why this Catwoman DVD was included. Anakin watching Rey and Kylo break the only lightsaber he did not break himself from Force Heaven. I realized yesterday that General Grievous can T-pose and do it to him at the same time. Everyone, meet my jar of jars. His name is Jar Jar. When you shake it, Jar Jar clinks. Get out. R2 was at Leia's birth and her death. Star Wars peaks whenever there's an unhinged Vader scene. I fully believe Anakin would have listened to her, or at least heard her out, if he didn't see Obi-Wan standing like a bitch out for blood. Babe, are you okay? You've barely touched your Darth Maul hummus. Almost all of Anakin Skywalker's life was just a miserable nightmare. Boba was really the one dude to get in Vader's grill and say some stuff and not get choked out. Contrary to popular belief, George Lucas says Jedis are allowed to do the deed. Jedi Knights aren't celibate. The thing that is forbidden is attachments and possessive relationships. Imagine being a Jedi, just finished the deed. Shorty says I love you before leaving, and you turn around like, may the Force be with you, because I won't. Where is Leia? My brother, there are so many things you can do the deed to on the internet. I told my daughter to grab her mask so we can go to the store. This was the mask she grabbed. Bullied kid refuses to fight back because it's not the Jedi way. The greatest character of all time. No, I'm not scared to say it out loud. Tripping kids as they run around restaurants to be made legal. Tatooine residents. They can't take Anakin. I need his free labor. Those dice were loaded. How did he win? I will never see my son again. Jedi, did you just steal a kid? Yeah, I think part of the reason Boba Fett was so insistent on helping Mando get the child back was because he knows what it's like to lose a father and didn't want Grogu to go through that. When you throw out the packaging of a microwave dinner and immediately forget how long to microwave it for. The sacred texts. Say what you will about the Ewoks, but they're the only people in the galaxy who have handrails on their bridges and stairs. The Empire calls them primitives, but the Ewoks have OSHA regulations and the Empire doesn't. So who's really more primitive here? I wish I was someone like Mark Hamill for a day, just so I could tweet something out like pickle and watch Twitter just explode. Pickle, 7-year-old me. Dad, can you help me make a gingerbread house for school? Sure, I can help. It won't be fancy or anything. A gingerbread house. So I got this idea for a Star Wars character. Great, go on. He's a Jedi Knight, but get this. He actually survived Order 66. Actor Liam Neeson has confirmed he will be putting down the dumbbells and walking away from his impressive career as an action star. In Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker, Flash flashbacks show that child Rey had the same hair and clothes as adult Rey. This is a subtle way of showing how little character development she had over the series. Is Galen Erso technically the Oppenheimer of the Star Wars universe, observing a serious discussion at a modern-day school of Athens? My 13-year-old son told me that when he hits 99 pounds, he wants to eat 1 pound of nachos on his own, so he can be 1% nacho. He is the chosen one. If I would get a nickel for an actor who played a Jedi and also the Joker, I would have 2 nickels. 3 nickels. Mum, can I be the pilot? Sweetie, Mum loves you very much, but she's waited 30 years for this, and I'll be damned if you get to pilot the Falcon before me. Overheard by Anonymous, Smuggler's Run in Galaxy's Edge, Disneyland. Soldiers are attacking my school. They're killing all my classmates and teachers, but it's okay. Master Skywalker is here. He will protect us. The least believable thing about Revenge of the Sith is Padme gracefully prancing while full-term pregnant with twins and tearfully begging Anakin to reconsider as opposed to waddling out of her spaceship and screaming, "What the fuck, Anakin? I'm about to go fight. I'll post the video after. I got beat, bruh. I'm not posting that." The masculine urge to cover your school in boss-ass recruitment posters. Do you think the Clone Wars series saved the prequels and that era of Star Wars? The fact that Leia named her son Ben makes a whole lot more sense now. This is a Skywalker family heirloom, so it is mine. No, I'm the real Skywalker. That's my grandfather's. Arguing over the dark saber. I want your lightsaber and your planet. Let us duel. Yes. Opinion. Jedi Fallen Order had a better plot than Jedi Survivor, but Jedi Survivor had better gameplay. It's a shame that we never got a sequel to the game that covered the Clone Wars Season 3 to 7. After seeing the Tales of the Jedi trailer, the only thing I can't stop obsessing over is how cool this Inquisitor looks. I almost want to root for him. When asked what Han Solo's favorite color is, Harrison Ford says, "I wish George Lucas would die." The fact that Lola doesn't die in the Obi-Wan show, but doesn't show up in the OG trilogy or prequels, implies that it got fucking nuked when Alderaan was blown up in A New Hope. As much as they wanted to, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka couldn't reach him. Only through Luke was Anakin finally freed. I keep thinking about Hayden and Ewan's face when the interviewer said she had a crush on Darth Maul. In your face, Kenobi. At this point, Disney should just hire the guys that make these. The final thing Obi-Wan sees before he dies is Luke and Leia reunited after 19 years, after witnessing their birth. If actors could build a team out of the characters they've played, whose team would be untouchable? Revenge of the Sith, but Padme is 8 months pregnant with twins and has no patience for Anakin's melodramatic having self, George Lucas. So you're going to hold the lightsaber like this and then strike at Christopher Lee. Have you ever killed a man, George? My granddaughter said, "This is Darth Vader's potty." Me, spawning after someone mentioned Star Wars. I'm literally Anakin Skywalker. On who would win in a fight, Prime Luke or Prime Anakin? It has to be Anakin. Of course it's Anakin. He's the chosen one. We should give all newborn babies numbers rather than names until they are ready to determine their own gender identity. Baby cries, the mother, "What's your tone? C27567. Wow, Anakin's neck alone would give him the high ground. Obi-Wan, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground." Anakin swiftly extends neck. Are we going to ignore the fact that Peter loves Star Wars but doesn't realize that Nick Fury is Mace Windu? Would you accept a trade for your 2020 Benz AMG? What could possibly be worth 140k? What do you absolutely hate hearing? Awful sound. Name a more badass movie character. Oh wait. Hi, where are you? Understandable. Take as much time as needed. Another great actor who wasted his life on drugs and alcohol. My master, do you know how Mace died? He went out the window. Dave is the king of taking cool looking but ultimately wasted characters and actually fleshing them out and making them interesting. Fun fact, this is the original Boba Fett. R2-D2 ain't a snitch. He knew Anakin was Vader, pretended not to know who Yoda and Obi-Wan were, and shut himself down when Luke didn't want to be found. No wonder he was trusted with the Death Star plans. R2 is the ultimate ride or die droid. Ride together, die together. My wife wasn't thrilled when I put this Lego Millennium Falcon on our wedding registry. To not seem completely self-indulgent, I told her I would wait until we had kids to build it. Today, after 10 patient years, the adventure begins. Fun fact, Christopher Lee's flip at the beginning of the scene was improvised. The script had Count Dooku walking carefully down the stairs, but the 83-year-old surprised cast and crew by leaping into the air with a front flip and landing perfectly. Cannot get over how Maul calls Ahsoka Lady Tano, all respectful and stuff, probably because he was raised in a matriarchal society, but doesn't have an honorific for Obi-Wan. Oh, so arrives Lady Tano, gracefully beautiful and a masterful duelist, so we meet again. Ah yes, Kenobi, the bastard himself. Luke, during this time, was an urban legend to the Empire. Remember by the end of Return of the Jedi, he was responsible for the destruction destruction of 2 Death Stars. He was in a room with Vader and the Emperor. From the perspective of any witnesses, the Emperor never made it out, and he walked out with Darth Vader's dying, defeated body. He is the only known living Jedi left as he watches in terror as a cloaked Force-wielding figure with a lightsaber easily dismantles his army of dark troopers because he knows it could only be him. Liam Neeson apparently was a danger on set because the Jedis have like 4 basic moves, but he was so trained for sword fighting for Rob Roy, so he would wave his plastic sword in new and interesting ways that would not be choreographed but were traditional actual ways to fight with a sword. A man in Indiana made an AT-AT costume for his horse, intending to only get a few pictures before removing it. When he took off the headpiece, the horse got upset and insisted he put it back on, which made his horse happy again. Now, the horse isn't allowing him to remove any of the pieces. Whenever someone abbreviates Robert Downey Jr.'s name to RDJR, this is what I imagine. Star Wars Republic Commando was released on this day 18 years ago. To date, my proudest achievement, incredibly talented team under almost insurmountable odds. Would love to get the gang back and rescue Sev someday. If we ever get young Doku in live action, I think Christian Bale should play him. He's a great actor and could pull off his personality quite well. Question for the class. Revenge of the Sith is rated PG-13 and as such is allowed 1 F-bomb. Where would you put it? In Star Wars Clone Wars, Anakin and Obi-Wan visit a war-torn village. There are no men in the village. All have been taken by the enemy. Everyone is sad. For Interstellar, Christopher Nolan planted 500 acres of corn just for the film because he did not want to CGI the farming. After filming, he turned it around and sold the corn and made back a profit for the budget. Discussion. You can pick 1 Jedi and 1 Sith, legends not included, to help you defeat a battalion of clones. Which 2 are you picking? This is the hardest image I've seen. I swear, the Lego Star Wars, Lego Batman, Indiana Jones games, they were so good. If you are over 13 and play with Legos, you need help. This is fucking sick. I kinda broke it though, but yeah. Oopsies. They should put a new continent here. Wasn't prepared for Google to be this specific. How long does a cat hold a grudge for? 16 hours. I hate babies with grown names. No, I ain't holding Walter. Who would win in a fight? A baby. A different baby. Wait, why is everyone so sure about this? Why do parents bust into your room like they're trying to catch you cheating on them with another pair of parents or something? Let's say I got my pee-pee stuck in a ketchup bottle, which I didn't. How would I get it out? Wait till it's soft and pull it out. It's cutting off the blood flow, and it won't get soft. Not that I did that. Today I found out that apparently if you kill someone in international waters on an unregistered boat, then throw the body overboard, they can't trace it back to any one legal system, so you can't be prosecuted for their murder. So what did you do today? Does your stomach ever hurt so bad that you completely get naked on the toilet? If I woke up tomorrow as a horse, the first thing I would do is eat a whole apple with the core in 1 bite. I bet it would be really nice. Then I would kick whatever's behind me. I don't know how to explain this, but Thursday, October and 8 p.m. are all the same. To avoid straining your eyes when you're continuously working, follow the 20-20-20 rule. After 20 minutes of work, look at something 20 feet away, then spend 20 years in the forest. Good news, Prancer, the 13-pound gremlin chihuahua who hates men and children, was described as vessel for traumatized Victoria children, has been adopted by a 36-year-old single lesbian in Connecticut. If you worked at a movie theater, would you check underneath my hat for Cool Ranch Doritos? Be honest, probably not. The Teepton Fox looks like someone tried to draw it from memory. Does anyone else look in the fridge for a snack only to find you have no snack-worthy snacks, so then you lower your snack expectations and eat a single slice of cheese and a random grape? Who knows what this is? A teachable moment for an overly curious child in a car alone. What do I look like I smell like? Wet moldy carpet with that stinky artificial grape scent from a Hello Kitty perfume. A sapiosexual is one who is attracted to or aroused by intelligence in others. Women will post stuff like this, then date a guy who puts his finger under each word when he reads. Leaving a watermelon on someone's doorstep in the middle of the night is a pretty inexpensive way to occupy a portion of their mind forever. Humans in sci-fi, stupid artificial beings lol. They don't have feelings, so you can treat them like poop. Humans in real life. I put googly eyes on my toaster. His name is James, and I will protect him with my life. Imagine you getting a job at GameStop, and your manager is the type of guy to chug a whole Monster energy drink, and then say, haha, Yeah, level up. And he does that every day. Are you okay? Wow, 8 PM already. Almost time to lay in bed and regret every choice I've ever made while scrolling Wikipedia articles about disasters. Honestly, who the hell actually likes sparkling water that tastes like TV static? I don't know how he came to this conclusion. I just know he's absolutely right. Instagram, I have a perfect life. Facebook, I have an okay life. Twitter, I am a hot mess. Reddit, I killed a hitchhiker in 86 and buried his body in the woods and I've never told a soul. Every woman's biggest nightmare is a late marriage. Mine is sitting on the toilet and a hidden snake. Yeah, too much information. It doesn't matter how old you get. Buying snacks for a road trip should always look like an unsupervised 9-year-old who was given $100. Khloe Kardashian's hands look like the hands of what I imagine lives under my bed and grabs my ankles in my sleep. Alright, I'll bite. What do I do for a living? You work as a butler in a haunted mansion and you put your little hand in the mashed potatoes. Elon Musk is what happens when the ghost of a 14-year-old who died in 2011 and the ghost of a 19th century oil baron try to possess the same body. There is nothing worse than hearing people attempt to sound intelligent by using lengthy words and misusing them. I completely photosynthesized with this. 15 years ago, if you wanted to see a picture of a raccoon, you would either have to already have it or drive to a library, and a raccoon in a funny hat, forget about it. I really wish I was in on this joke. Me, eating a taco in Cleveland. It's an inside joke. I can't explain why, but he looks like he knows a lot about dinosaurs. I'm going to start cussing out people, but with some biblical stuff, like, I hope your crops wither and bear no fruit, and the ravens eat your mustard seeds. Realize 10 years too late, you can probably smash these. You can't, the inside layer is too tight. When you move the outside with your hand, the inside doesn't move. Or so I was told. People who have no playlists and just shuffle through their liked songs folder are capable of murder. The USA map, but I drew a pizza. The place I beat an elderly man to death in 2004. Imagine you are a whale, and you were breaking up with your whale girlfriend, and humans recorded your conversation and put it on Spotify to fall asleep to. That would be so fucked up. Men will literally learn everything about ancient Rome instead of going to therapy. Some of you are never the third friend that had to walk behind when the sidewalk is too narrow, and it shows. This time of year, I grab weeds while I'm walking my dog and weave them into little wreaths that I leave around the neighborhood, specifically because there is a woman next door who is furious because she thinks they are signs of witchcraft. I encourage you to do the same. Every time I say my cat's name, she looks at me like I just told her that her husband died at sea. Me, during my 4th birthday party, suddenly gaining full self-awareness. My face when my wife gives birth to a baby, but I don't feel the dad jokes kicking in. But my friend suddenly becomes a comedian, most likely to wiggle his finger and say, "Don't mind if I do," when he sees a donut. Sex is cool, but have you ever made a joke at a dinner party that bombed and you felt bad, but then the host of the party pulled you aside later and said it wasn't your fault the joke bombed? It's just that Kate's brother died in a skiing accident, so skiing jokes are off bounds. Fruits that do not live up to their name. Passion fruit, grapefruit, honeydew, dragon fruit. Fruits that do live up to their name. Orange. Would you rather fight a buff nerd or a jock who listens to jazz? Things to remember. The nerd has a lot of pent-up anger, might pretend you are his dad. Because of the jock's exposure to jazz music, his attack patterns and movements are a lot less predictable. How do you politely tell your visitor that it's time to go home? If you are from the Midwest, you just say, "Well," really forcefully slap your knees with your hands, then stand up. Other Midwesterners will recognize the signal and say, "Suppose we should head out." My girlfriend, sitting there absolutely starstruck because I said I wouldn't love her if she was a bold 300-pound midget with no arms or legs and could only speak German. Timothy Chandler looks like a pointy Italian shoe that was turned into a real boy by a witch's curse. Therapist, so how depressed would you say you've been feeling lately? I don't care anymore if my foot hangs over the bed where a monster can get it. Jesus, wow. Do you ever eat some disappointing junk food and it's like, I'm clogging up my arteries for this? Things on this site are so oddly specific yet accurate. Kinda miss social media in 2012 where the concept of an influencer didn't exist and everyone was using Instagram's pre-made filters and posting pictures of random stuff like a handful of Skittles or an overly exposed sunset. Those were the days. Someone should cross wolves and Great Danes and Great Pyrenees and stuff until they get the largest possible wolf dog, not for pets, just for like Jurassic Park hubris reasons. Our boss just banned overly specific names and the whole office is staring at Rat Snitch Brian. The good time. When a woman sits next to me on the bus, I always take it as a sign that I do not look like a serial killer. Not looking like a serial killer is definitely something I strive for, so it's nice to occasionally get this validation. Do not eat my lunch. I have 1 shrimp and 4,311 rice. Why is sleeping at night night so hard, but sleeping in the morning is like drifting away on a soft fluffy cloud while Adele sings you a lullaby. You're going to shit your pants and kill your roommate when you see what these child stars look like now. Thank you for bringing your Bluetooth speaker to the beach. I did not want to hear the sound of the waves and the birds and the wind. I wanted to hear the Spotify playlist you listen to everywhere else in your life because you hate to be alone with your thoughts for even 1 minute. Thank you. This image lives rent-free in my head. She looks like a mum whose kid just came home with a big toad, asking if they can The guy who picked on me in high school and then became a millionaire just came into KFC and I overcooked his chicken. Checkmate, Justin, you fucking loser. Easy ways to kill a husband. I cannot drown him. Yeah, Facebook is... this is crazy. The government should give us each $8,000, not because that's how much a Batman pinball machine costs. It's for a different reason. Today I had 800 milligrams of caffeine, exercised for 2 hours, ate literally 80 pizza rolls and did a face mask. The line between self-care and self-destruction is a fine one, but god do I walk it hard, brother. Black rain frogs sound like squeaky toys and look like angry avocados. Billionaires are fucking boring. Your mega mansions with all white furniture makes me sick. How could you have that kind of money and not live in a haunted house with a moat, hedges shaped like animals, and a groundskeeper with a questionable past? Why are rugs so expensive? Pillows, curtains. Why does the trash can fill up so fast? Why do I have to clean my kitchen so much? Where the hell is all this dust coming from? I can't believe this needs to be said, but if you are bit by a snake, please don't bring the snake into the emergency room with you. I wish I could Google search my own mind and just type stuff like, what are my favorite movies? Or what was the name of the place with the really good egg rolls? How come when a house is haunted, it's always a ghost from the 1700s? Imagine a ghost from 2007 screaming, "It's Britney, bitch," at 3 a.m. Me, at age 16, after sitting in my drug dealer's room for 2 hours in complete silence while he makes beats because I'm not allowed to leave right away or his dad will know he sells drugs. Okay. Hey, last night was fun, but after watching you eat the rolls as soon as they came to the table, I don't think I want to continue this. Everyone knows you wait 5 minutes before reaching for the free bread. One of my greatest joys in life is when Jeff calls the vet to make an appointment and they ask for his name and he says, Jeff. Then they ask for our cat's name and I watch him gather the strength before he tells them, Baby Jeff. I went to the bar in my scrubs last night and this dude paid for my tab because he thought I was a nurse during the pandemic. Sir, I lazy booty holes for a living. How to make anything you do sound suspicious. Be mostly specific. An example, yes, I bought this with legal tender money that was acquired legally. I met with a friend who was alive. Happy 3-year anniversary to working in a coffee shop at 3 a.m. and my first customer was this lady in a fox costume on her way to surprise chase her daughter who was afraid of mascots down the street in Chicago. Doing LSD with friends, be cool, till one of them admits to accidentally killing their younger brother. She started seeing a guy that can pronounce Noki. It's over, bro. You gotta move on. Being an adult means not having your bed pushed up against a corner. That is literally the only criteria. All visitors from New Jersey must explain why. Limited exceptions. The more random people you see jogging for no reason, the higher rent is going up. Billie Eilish is 18 years old. You know what that means. That's right. She is illegally allowed to operate 2019 Viper RT80 8,000 pounds air pneumatic forklift heads diesel lift truck with proper certification, of course. In every partnership, there is a person who stacks the dishwasher like a Scandinavian architect and a person who stacks the dishwasher like a raccoon on meth. Google review summary. This company is a scam. I hope everybody at this place loses their job and they starve in the rain. Great shipping speed, much product variety. When I pack too much for a short trip, 11 pants. My greatest fear is someone being able to observe how I live my life for a full 24 hours. Yeah, I've honestly read this meme like 10 times, but the mic didn't pick it up. It's not that interesting. I just wanted to put it in this video to basically say fuck you. The year is 1888. Me, the first paleontologist to dig up a triceratops skull, whispering softly, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck. My coworker said Billie Eilish makes music for girls who call themselves psycho, but are too afraid to ask for extra ketchup at a restaurant. People who are allergic to peanuts. I can't, it'll kill me. People who are allergic to gluten. I can't, it'll wreck my body. People who are lactose intolerant. Humans cannot achieve immortality anyway, and life, not lived to the fullest, is no life at all. And me a gallon of milk. I bet if they made a Ratatouille 2, it would have been like international, and they would have entered a cookery contest and met chefs from all around the world, but they all had different rats in their hats, like a sushi rat, and a Guy Ferrari hat, and a German rat. Yeah, sex is cool, but what about when you're cutting wrapping paper, and instead it goes, instead of, Michael B. Jordan is cute, but doesn't have any edge. average. He looks, I don't know, responsible. He looks like he knows where his birth certificate is at. Does mace work on birds? If a heron is attacking me, will mace be an effective deterrent? Time-sensitive question. Please respond. I'm just going to watch Shrek in my head. As a little kid, I was so damn obsessed with Shrek.